I think we're good. Should be. Hello, hello. Welcome back to Transport Fever 2 here in our trains-only playthrough. Made a ton of progress last time, and finally making a lot of money as well, so we can probably, at some point soon, really invest a lot of money into building out infrastructure, especially a cargo hub. And I think, you know, I watched a few videos about this. We might be able to build a just a dedicated cargo hub, more or less smack dab in the middle of the map, somewhere right around here, and then let the game decide what needs to go where, as long as everything else is connected. But that is going to be a very long process. You already know. So, as far as individual cities, right now we have Birmingham receiving everything it needs in some capacity. Obviously everything isn't maxed out, but it is getting all 4 of its desired goods. Meanwhile, these guys still can't decide what they want. As soon as they decide they want something, I build a line for it, and then the building goes away, so we're going to ignore them. Vancouver over here, unfortunately, does not have anything. But they do have a few brave souls wanting to travel to a couple different places. And I think if we can manage to, you know, get another one of these construction materials plants popped up somewhere, sometimes they do, then we'll have a better chance of having success here. But Corona wants tools and fuel, which we are making. We just have to be able to, you know, produce enough to send them elsewhere. And currently, our tools factory does have a decent bit queued up, ready to go to both Birmingham and Paterson, and Norfolk also wants tools. But I don't know that this can produce enough. We might have to, you know, reconfigure a whole bunch of stuff. But yes, good to see everybody. Hope you're having a good Saturday. Should still be Saturday for most of you who would be awake at this point in time. I cannot promise we're going to get a ton of stuff done in this one, but I did want to make sure that we're trying to be consistent with this. I got okay kind of sleep. Not as much as I wanted, but that's what happens when you go to bed at 5 in the morning. I don't know, man. That was a very long and frustrating video for me to try to make. So, I guess we'll see what happens at some point. We have a machines factory right here next to New York, which is begging, absolutely begging, to just be done in a straight line here. Like, look at this. Bam, bam, bam. All the way in here. Is if we could just get some steel, then we would have a very good setup here. And guess what? We've got a steel mill, we've got coal mines, and we have iron ore. So, I think this might be a worthwhile thing for us to start pursuing here and get some economic engines turning on this side of the map. Because of you, I finally bought Transport Fever 2. Excellent. It's a fun game. It's a very fun game. Let's take a look at what the needs are and where. I see machines here. I see packages, or I guess whatever the term is for that there. And I want to say we're going to need to have a pass-through station here that's accessible from both sides, but I don't want to just completely destroy a whole bunch of houses or a bunch of industry, but this is going to have somewhere to go. So if we do a street out this way, and I have something else to connect to, while only destroying a few industries, that might be preferable, but this is only a single track. And if I turn here, it's not going to get everything on the other side. But I think I'm going to want to have another street over here. So I think if we offset this, let's try that. Then I put this guy here. I'm going to have room for another track and another platform, and then I could also connect to that side of that street, I want to say. But the important thing, get out of here. The important thing is that this would connect to basically everything that currently exists in the town. And then we don't have to worry about whatever. Yes, catenary. We're going to have to make sure these are all set up for electric trains, because those are about to become available in very large quantities. So that'll get me there. Passenger station, I'm not really concerned about at this exact point in time, but making sure that this has 3, 4 tracks. Oh, look at this. I can put a passenger thing on this side, and that could be our 4th track, and it doesn't take away any of this stuff. But we will need to have a passenger building to take advantage of this. And I think, so most of the houses are up here and up here, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to have it in this side here. 25 passengers, 45, 35, 150. See, that's not going to work. That's also way too big. I don't think it needs to be... I don't think it needs to be a huge deal. Well, I was going to try to avoid having everything completely removed, but if I put 2 of those in there... Let's see, where's the... Okay, so they can't connect here, but if I give them... I'm sure there's some sort of like a pathing thing I can stick with this. Because I want that to be hooked up to something else here. So that side entrance doesn't want me to go on either side here, huh? Indeed. Alright, so I guess this is me being an idiot day. Too much slope. Okay, that's annoying. Oh, well, there's your problem. Jeez, okay. Something tells me that's not going to be perfect. Now, this is really stupid. Yes, I think we can all agree. However, it will connect. So, now, we've got passenger access onto this side here. And we have tracks that are going to need to go above everything. And because of how this is set up, I don't know that it's going to allow this to work unless I take out this street and then make it go down. One of the more dumb things I've done, but it's fine. It's fine. I could have maybe raised this a little bit more, but see now if I have that go up and make it as straight as I can, will this go across the track, or the road here? See, it doesn't want to because it wants to do a grade crossing all the time. Yeah, see, that's not going to fly. Okay. It's time for road reconstruction in a way that is probably going to just be incredibly stupid. However, it's going to be fine. They'll figure it out. They'll rebuild. What in the world did you do? Look, I don't know, man. Alright. So, down we go. Make plenty of room. That should be enough. If it's not, then we will see what happens. That doesn't need to go down that far. But I do need that to stay right about here, and then that will have to go up. But I don't want it to go up that quickly. Yeah, see, if I could just get this to be slightly lower. Slightly lower. So we're gonna have to we're gonna have to just you know, not be quite so ridiculous with this. But I think it's okay. Just smoothing it out slightly. There we go. Now it's train time. Hey, look at that. Look at that. We can go over and there's no problems. Don't you love it? Don't you love it? Bridge pillar collision. Yeah, you know what? You collide your own bridge pillar. How about that? I want that to be more or less level because if I can have this be viaduct through here entirely, then I think we're going to be in good shape. All right. 0 degree curve. That will just come out to here. Build tracks all the way through. There we go. This will be its own separate kind of deal, but it will be still over the tracks there. And then that is track number 4. So we have 4 tracks straight through. This will probably end up having to be a tunnel coming in here, but hey, guess what? Regular New York has that too. It's fine. It's fine. So now this street has to be built. They will build themselves without me having to pay for it. So, you know what? I guess that is going to be what we're going to do. But let's take this out all the way out of the city so we don't have to worry about this ever again. Just straight through. I don't think we want this to be grade crossings here, but, you know, maybe it's okay because we're not actually operating any vehicles here. Yeah, just trains. So I guess that's fine. Just run that there. It is building catenary, right? Okay, good. What? Okay, what happened there? There we go. Just bring this all... No, stop it. Don't do that. Don't do that. There. So we have beyond all reasonable bounds of where the city will grow in the next however long I'm streaming. That will get us all the way through the city. And now we just have to get under here. So, under where? This will just have to go out that way. We will want to... see, I have the passenger track on this far end here. But this is going to be freight going this way. Okay, well, first of all, where are the passenger tracks going to go? I guess I could have the passenger tracks go underneath and kind of interweave these things. That might make more sense. So, yes, the game is still paused. I know. I know. It's going to be okay. This is going to need to go up. And if I have the other one go down, then it shouldn't be an issue. I wish it would give me units on the heights, though. That would be very convenient. So if this has to get separated... if I separate that... no, it wants to go that way. But if I drag it out... see, now that goes down, but it's not going down quick enough. Like, that's kind of an unrealistic slope. But I can't unless it is separated here. Okay. Well, that's not going to be enough clearance anyway, and I can't go any lower unless I curve out this way. And I definitely don't want to do that. So if that ends up going up more, that might be better. Because as far as I'm concerned with the passenger track, it just needs to be going somewhere in this general direction, probably toward the very corner to Concord. That would make sense. Corner to corner seems to be a pretty good strategy for long-distance passenger rail. So I guess we just have this go all the way down here, the point where it's almost in a tunnel. No, we're going about this the wrong way. This needs to make its curve over here. And then we need to adjust the height appropriately. So if that goes up like this, it still needs to go higher than that. And the other one can just go straight underneath it. I think that should be okay. Now the question is it going to allow me to make a bridge here? Probably not. This is also not a very fast curve. All right, let's roll with that. And then let's see if I can get this to go down without crossing here. Okay, no, it's not going to play nice with me, huh? See, that's not going to work. Okay, that is as low as that is going to go. And this still wants me to... okay, oh no, here's progress. If I could get it to go lower, that would be great, but it's not going to. It still says collision because of what's up here. But if I can get this built to go down, that might be a good thing. But I don't know. I think I'm complicating this way too much. But the passenger thing has to be here. That's unavoidable because of how I built this. So that was maybe not my smartest thing I've ever done. So, new idea. One of these tracks crosses over because it can go up and then that way, and then this just goes straight somewhere else. I don't know. I'm, once again, very tired. But the show must go on. Alright. New plan. Just go straight. And then this track here ends up going up. And if it goes up enough before it goes over, then that's fine. I guess this can still be, maybe it won't force it to go up. I don't know. Because I have to have that separated. See, I want to avoid interlockings if I can. Because then I have to have that guy too. Alright. Is it going to allow me to do that while at the same time doing this? Just have that set up there. Aha! Okay, so now it's slow. That's not a bridge material issue. That's a curve issue. Okay, so that's how high that has to be there. It's only going to be 40 going across this because it is too much of a curve. And that is about what that needs to be, I think. Okay, so it's still not going to let me do that unless I go tiny bit lower. All right, let's try to keep it at 55. See if, or 56 is better. But I don't have a bridge pillar. No, I do. It's just really close. Okay. All right. That is going to work there, and then this just has to go all the way back down. I wish this would go a little lower, but it doesn't want to seem to let me do that. All right. So again, we were trying to go here. That will be fine. I just have to slowly start the process of going back down in elevation. I guess I could make this into land here. How much more money is that? 164 versus 130. Yeah, okay, who cares? The idea is to make this... Oh, this looks so bad. Yes, hello. Welcome to I Play With the Train Set I Don't Understand. So now I get to 75 immediately. That's probably the best option. Okay, why is this trying to go that far down? I don't want it to go down. That's because this is a mess. Okay, now I remember. Now I remember. There was a reason this was like this. And I just need to actually, you know, use my brain. Okay, so there is, I guess there's precedent for that. I need to have a station here. Thank you, email client. I forgot to close. So I'm going to have, I guess, straight line here to supply all this. This is making machines. Machines go to New York City, which goes here. And then, of course, we have to have steel, which is going to end up coming from down here. And then also going to this. So you see how this becomes complicated? Oh, boy. I guess at some point this is going to go back to regular ground, right? Yeah, okay. That's kind of a nice looking, kind of a nice looking viaduct. We might end up having to have multiple stations on this just so that everything, you know, plays nice, because this is where the steel gets made. I don't have another steel factory except over here. But there's not enough close by to that. Oh my god. Why does everybody email me 8,000 times as soon as I have a stream or a video going? It's fine. Ooh, and if we had enough planks here, I could have another tool factory. I don't think we want that. So, the other question, before I get too crazy with this, what is this other freight track going to go to, or is that just going to be a through track to somewhere else? That might be the smart way to go about it. But I need to decide where my station's going to go over here, which might require a little bit of finagling. I don't know. See, if I have this on this side here, it could connect here and then through here. But there's so many mountains, it's going to be tunnels and stuff everywhere. Or I have to snake things around through here, but we've already been through all that. I'm not concerned about goods or whatever these boxes are. Hello, hello. Okay, I think I'm losing track of what I'm trying to do here. So I wanted to make sure that I had this set up before the city grew any, and I still haven't gotten my tracks out this way. But now we have tunnels, and that will actually work quite nicely. I just have to decide where the passenger track is going to go. I should probably build that first. Now, I talked about corner-to-corner cross-country here, which would make that Concord right there. We could maybe stop on one of these other things. And then this corner, you have Vancouver, with maybe an intermediary stop in Birmingham, or thereabouts. So if we build based on that, construction not possible. Where? Is this still underground? I think it is. So I can have this just be still super underground. I don't think that's going to be a problem. So I want to go underneath all of this mess. And I don't know why this wants to come up. Okay, that's awful. Yeah, see, this wants to come up when I shouldn't have it come up. Like, it's going to just be tunnel all the way through this mess. There we go. So for some reason, it really wants me to come up to the surface, but I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. So now this will have to come out of a tunnel somewhere, which, if it comes out up here... Okay, that's not that unreasonable. It does go down maybe a little bit more than it should, but that does come out right here. And I do need to make a turn for this direction. So let's, I guess, do one of those. Land is relatively flat here. See, it always wants to do these crazy viaducts. Okay, why? No, don't do that. I'm just going to have to babysit this thing. See, that's so much better. Except that's going the wrong way. Needs to go this way. Good job. See, I want this to go over here. Now, why did it just immediately go back to a tunnel? Is that big of a... Well, I'm not going to lie, having a tunnel here might actually be beneficial. So, if we come out to here... Okay, that's a little bit more reasonable to have that come out there. Birmingham is here, and I did want to have maybe a stop there. So, if I have that right about here, I can go across the way here. Give it the correct type of bridge. No ships, so we don't have to worry about clearance. And where's my passenger thing in Birmingham? I don't have one. I'm going to have a separate passenger station for Birmingham. I think that's the only way. So let's check and see. See, here's where everybody lives. See, this is why you do this. This is why you do this, because then you can have everything just completely separated. And now I've got the offspring stuck in my head. If I just have this connect here, and I remove this, and I remove this, and this, and this, I think I can get a passenger station here that will allow me to connect most of what I want to connect. I go across. Where is my... How did I lose where my... Oh, I never built it. Okay. But that would come out through here, would connect here. And I guess just have a turn coming out that way would be alright. It's not like the best thing I've ever made. So this is the part where I have to decide How long do I want or need the station platform to be? Probably should plan for 8 segments. Seems like that would be the smart thing to do. And then I do need to take these station tracks out so I can build them with catenary. The electric trains we're going to get in the next 20 years or so are going to be really good. Or they should be, at least. Alright, so that gives me enough of a station platform to not have to worry about too much. And if I have this all in one thing here... I got lost again. Where's my... there it is. So this is... another tunnel. I think we can be a little bit more realistic with how we build this. And actually come through... Actually, maybe not. Go around this way. Well, it's going to be slow going into the station anyway. Let's go out here. I think that's going to be fine. As long as I can keep my 75, I may have to upgrade this to high-speed track at some point. Try to avoid making a tunnel. Yeah, that's kind of ugly, but whatever. Now, if I drag this all the way in here... Okay, that's going to be fine, because, you know, they're not going to be going this speed coming in here anyway. Alright, so that's New York to Birmingham. Now I just need to get over to Vancouver, which I could come around this way, but let's find out where the people live, and there's like nobody lives here. So if I were, because you know, freight's going to be a completely different animal. If I just have this here, is that going to be a problem with this? That station's there. It's going to come out this way. It really should be on the other side, but people live over here. And they will build closer to where the station is if it has a good reason to be there. Alright. So take this out, put in the electrified tracks. Make it 6 long, do a platform on the end. Alright, so that's going to solve that. Now we need a way to get from here all the way over to here. And this, since it is right next to station, does not have to be high speed, but we are going to want to have high speed track, or high speed quote unquote, as much of this space as we can. So that's going to go here to here. I think I can curve a little bit more. Just want this to link up to right here. Can I just drag this all the way? No tunnels, no nonsense. Minimal cutting. Okay. All right. We can roll with that. So now we have a Vancouver. This really does not look very good, but you know what? I'm going to redo it. Because now we have the general routing figured out. If I just drag this, that's not really that much better than what we had before, but I guess it's fine. And that goes to New York, and then it can continue all the way up here to Concord. You know what? We're on a roll, kind of, maybe. Let's try to figure out where I can put this. So this is passenger stuff here. I think I would rather have a side station connecting. Ooh, okay. Well, no, it's a terminus for passenger rail. I guess it's fine. If I just put this here, then this can still reach basically everything, and I'd have enough room for another track or two if I wanted. Okay. Well, hello, hello. Still okay. I'm going to get to it when I get to it. I appreciate you, but look, I got multiple super heavy-duty beaver game stuff things going on. We will at some point. Oh, this is heinous. This is awful right here. All right, no, I can't have this be like this. This just looks absolutely horrible. We'll put that back, and I'll build something else. Part of the reason I generally don't do new games on here is because I don't feel comfortable just jumping in doing absolutely no research in anything. Because then people tend to get really mad when you're not good at something. And I just do not have a desire to have that kind of energy going on here. So if I'm going to do a series on something, I want to make sure that I actually understand it. Or have some sort of... Get out of here. Have some sort of chance of reasonably succeeding going in blind. But I don't know anything about the game. I've never played it. And all I know about it is basically just what people have said in chat. And it's... As far as I know, I think it's... You're the only one that's done it? It's like, I'm not saying I'm never going to do it, but I can't promise I'm going to do it with any degree of expedience. But it is on the list. Yes, I absolutely overloaded myself with 2 very heavy beaver series. Yes. I don't have a time frame right now, I'm sorry. If anything, I'm closer to just, like, taking a couple weeks off because I've got so much going on. But then people are going to get mad about that, so I'm trying, I really am. There's also no guarantee that I'm going to do it if I end up, like, deciding that I either can't play the game or I don't like how it plays. I do have to prioritize things that are going to work. Now I got turned around. Oh, I need to go that way. So the platform is here. So I need to come through, tunnel under this. I don't know. Should I go straight through, completely under this mountain? Like it's enough of a super huge mountain that it probably would make sense. So where does this come out here? All right, this is not, that's not awful. But it's also, why is this at the very top of the screen where I can't, there it is. $3.5 million. All right, that's fine. Is that going to get me closer to, yes, okay. Yeah, that's just going to have to come out probably around here. So that needs to be able to miss this. I guess this is fine. Ooh, full speed. How's the debt situation? We have repaid all the debt, and now we just have cash. And I'm trying to make cross-country passenger rail happen. Oh, if it's like City Skylines, that's going to be awful. Oh, no. I really hope that's not what it's like. We've had the worst time with City Skylines 2 trying to do... I've tried, man, I tried so many times. Like 100+ hours without putting any content out on it, which when this is your quote-unquote full-time job, that is a very, 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 very huge amount of time to dedicate to something that is not actively growing the channel or making you money. I will take another look at it, but I literally, I cannot promise at any time, like, when that's going to happen. So we have Concord, we have New York, we have Birmingham, we have Vancouver. I think we can be pretty happy with that as a start. Corner-to-corner passenger transport. They're probably not going to use a whole lot of it, but I think that is fine. Let's build a track out here and then give ourselves a train depot. If I can get this to snap on here. Come on. There we go. Iron Teeth playthrough probably has another 5 to 10 episodes in it. And people are starting to get really impatient with that too, and that's kind of making me... mad is not the right word, but there's a few folks who keep commenting like, I can't believe it's taken you this long. Like, look, dude, I'm trying not to go off on people. But it does get kind of annoying when I'm sitting here like 10 hours recording a single episode, when most people who do videos on this record like 10 hours in a week and then have one video a week where they edit it down. Like, it does just take time. And I know people are sick of hearing that, but it's the truth. So, this guy right here, 75 miles an hour, $12.5 million, can haul these guys that can go 112 miles per hour, but the track's not going to let them do it, because we have to have a high-speed track to go faster than 75. I wonder, actually, if there's a... yeah, because I don't have high speed yet. It's going to be a while. It might be until, like, the 70s, maybe? Right around the time we get the Metroliner. What an odd assortment of city names. Yes, it is the U.S. city set randomized names. I think I've kind of hemmed myself into an unfortunate situation with how I make my videos, where the core audience understands how stuff works, but the core audience is still pretty small compared to the average like number of people who watch like the Iron Teeth videos, where half of them come from someone like RCE, whose videos are very different, and the other half come from someone like Zedek, who is incredibly good at the game. And then they try to meet in the middle and nobody agrees on what they want, and then I'm sitting here trying to do what I want, and then invariably someone's going to get mad. And I really... Thank you, email client. I really don't enjoy that. So I guess we'll start with just 2 of these guys. They're not going to be full, but it does need to be actually worth our while to have this thing going. This kind of happened with Apocalypse Mode too, where people would just get... I'm trying to find like the right word for it. Like, people would get, in my opinion, unfairly angry at how things were progressing. And then I'm just stuck thinking, okay, well, how am I supposed to fix this? Because no matter what I do, someone's going to get mad. New York City, all the way up to Concord, and then that will be fine. Let's do Concord, Vancouver. That was Vancouver, right? There. So then, just have to come in here and then assign this to that, and then we'll just we'll take a ride with these guys for a little bit. I know it's going to be underground, but that's fine. I also don't want to, with the Iron Teeth, I don't want to just cut it short, because I just published episode 32. If 35 was the end, I think a lot of people would be disappointed by that. Because we still don't have basically anything set up for endgame, and we're not even finished building out the core of anything like that. Yeah, there's a certain amount of I should just ignore people who are not understanding the point. But I've said a couple times before, when you do YouTube as your job, you have to do what's going to some degree, you have to do what is going to allow the channel to continue to exist, and also bring in viewers, because that's how you get paid. And I don't want it to turn into something where I'm only catering to that, but that is the reality of bills need to be paid, and if people get really mad at you and stop watching your videos, then you're done, and that's just not fun. And the gaming part of YouTube is in this weird situation where, I guess, compared to most other types of videos, the payout per view is just astronomically higher. So it is possible, with a very small channel like what I have, to make okay money, to where you don't have to, you know, go out and have another full-time job depending on how frugal you are, and I tend to live very, very, very cheaply. So this has been good. But I get to the point sometimes where I get very afraid of making a mistake that will tank stuff, and then I'm really going to be in trouble. I do appreciate that people are actually riding the trains, though. That's always nice to see. So we still have 2 people going all the way over to Vancouver. And yes, we were hemorrhaging money, but at some point, this will make us cash. Yeah. And I guess this kind of goes back to the previous comments about do shorter episodes or just break stuff up into chunks. Because I do the unscripted, just kind of make a list of stuff to get done and do it kind of things, I don't really know how long the episodes are going to be until I finish recording them. But I do try to keep it around an hour. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If I'm sitting here for 9 hours time-lapsing stuff, I have no idea how long it's going to be. And that's how you get an episode like today's that's an hour 22 minutes. I think that's how long it was. And then some episodes, when you time-lapse, it goes down to 30. They're like, okay, well, this isn't worth someone's time watching if they're used to an hour. There's 15 people on this. I did not think that was going to be that popular. Oh, this is a weird thing. It's like a, I forget what it was called. But a, like a single unit diesel train. See, the other problem with that is 99.9% of the people who watch the videos are just, you know, having a good time, or if they don't like something, they just don't say anything. But it's that 0.1% of people who watch something and then feel the need to just get really negative about stuff, whose opinions seem like they're super loud, and it makes me feel like a lot of people feel that way. When I know, like, mechanically speaking, that's not possible. Based on the like-to-dislike ratios and viewer retention statistics and everything. Most people really like the stuff who interact with it. Or they click off and then it's not counted as a viewer statistic or whatever. But there's been enough people that have had very angry crash outs over video length and speed of progression stuff where it makes me feel like it's something I really need to address. But then I try to change stuff and then people say, well, don't change it. You don't need to. These people are all going to New York. How about that? I also don't want to come off as, like, complaining. What's the DJ Khaled meme, suffering from success or whatever? Like, on any level, I am incredibly thankful that I get to do this as a job, and that the people who like the videos like them as much as they do, and the people who support as much as they do. Like, that, above everything else, that needs to be stressed, that I am just incredibly thankful that this is the way this is. And that I don't have more negative people in the comments. Because a lot of people get really mean comments, and for the most part, mine are fine. But it still irritates the crap out of me. When people are like, you didn't do this right now, then you're terrible. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, it's so easy to just not be like this. I need to play games that I'm enjoying, yes. Which is why I'm not playing Cities Skylines 2 again. On stream, at least. I like the game. It just is miserable to make content with. And I do not have the luxury of spending 40 hours a week playing a game to make a single video. If I was doing that, then the returns on this would not be enough for me to justify doing it 40 hours a week. I hit the sweet spot where the amount of time and effort I put into this justifies what I'm getting back mechanically from a survive in late-stage capitalism perspective. And it's working out very nicely for myself because I don't have to support anybody else, and I have very low living expenses, and I get to do fun stuff in conjunction with my other jobs and survive as a human being and be in a very comparatively good place. But at the same time, I am an incredible people pleaser, and I get upset when I can't make people happy, and that ends up being a problem. Wow, this is actually full. I didn't think it was going to be full. Let's edit and add 2 more carriages. Okay, now the problem with having editors is you have to pay them. And because this is the field I was trained in when I went to college, I know how much editors actually get paid, or what they should get paid, not what YouTubers pay them. And for me to have an editor, a single full-time editor to do video stuff, I would have to have maybe 10 times as many views on every single video just to pay for the editor, and I would not get a single cent. Now, I could also just, like, hire some random dude on the other side of the planet, pay him $5 a day and call it that, and then that would be fine, but I'm not going to pay somebody $5 a day to be a video editor. That's insane. Or all these people like, I'll do it for free. No, you won't. Don't do that to yourself. Also, I don't want to do the edited style of gameplay videos, because then you miss out on the whole thing, which is playing the game. If you just show, here's what I did, okay, cool, neat. Show and tell's nice. We have fun with the colony submissions, but for me, the most fun part about this is doing the problem solving and figuring out things and soliciting advice from people who watch the videos and do stuff that they want to see. If you don't have that, then all you're doing is just shouting into the void and like, okay, well, anybody can do that. But that doesn't make compelling content, in my opinion. Yes, it does have the benefit of requiring negligible editing in comparison. You are absolutely correct. And that is, again, there's so many things that come together to make this viable in this exact circumstance. You change too much of that and it just completely doesn't work. Also, you never have to comment on videos. Like, don't feel like you have to engage for the sake of engagement. But I do always appreciate, you know, when people have ideas or constructive criticisms that I can actually address that aren't just, you're wrong. Which, okay, cool. Like, I have an idea that I'm not doing things correctly, but if you don't tell me what's wrong, I can't fix it. Yeah, okay, so I guess we can talk about that. Cutting the bit out of the video. It was, at the time I recorded that, it was like 1 in the morning. And I just completely forgot that I had to have the mangrove trees on the separate level, and I thought I had the two-boy levees mod installed. Because what I was going to do was I was going to have foresters first in the center core column thing. I can't remember if that stayed in. I don't think it did. But I'd built all this. I spent all this time building this stuff in and building the scaffolding for it, and then, oh, okay, well, now let's put two-boy levees. I don't have the mod installed. I thought I did. I didn't have it. And then I said, okay, and then I went on like a rant about how like ridiculous this is that I'm even trying to do this. Like, this is not good. This is not compelling viewing. No one wants to see this. This benefits nobody to keep this in. So I just cut it out, and then after that was done, then you saw the second thing I tried to do. That also didn't work. First person cam, we'll do it when the train turns around. And I'm honestly really kind of concerned is not the right word, but I'm very academically curious about the people who watch every single video of mine every day and still want them to be longer. Like, what like, genuinely, like, what do you do that you have that kind of time to watch an hour of the same person every single day online and then still have a craving for more? All right. First person. We'll get to see these megatunnels. Yeah, the foreshadowing messages honestly are kind of fun to put in. Because you know that some of the people who watch the videos are like, well, of course you made some sort of stupid mistake. And then the other ones are like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. When I put one of those messages in, know that I am very angry with myself. That things went poorly enough for that to be a problem. Yeah, it looks really good in first-person view at 75 miles an hour. And the tunnels are a little flatter than I thought they would be, for the most part. I appreciate that. That is generally why I do what I do. Because the problem I always run into when I'm watching YouTube to try and learn something about a game or just enjoy somebody playing it is a lot of the time they just don't say anything about what they're doing or why. They're just saying, okay, we're going to do this. Like, all right, great. Why? And what does this do? So if I can articulate that and try to help people understand what I'm doing, then I think at that point that's already worth the effort to do that. Yeah, those last couple tunnels go up and down a little bit more than I think they should, but I think this is fine. Guilty of watching all the videos in full soon after their release, as that's around 6 a.m. for me, and it's a nice start to my day. See, that's another reason why I like doing this the way I do it. If you have something every single day, someone can tune in if they want, and if they don't want, then that's fine. But people like routine. And if I try to keep the videos relatively family-friendly and with a general positive tilt, that can have a good impact on people. Because you know there's enough garbage going around. You can't even go anywhere else online without being assaulted by all sorts of crap. Like, I don't need any more of this in my life. If I can spend my time making stuff that, at the very least, does not make people's lives worse, and still manage to, you know, support myself doing it, then I'm going to count that as a win any day of the week. Alright, I'm coming out of the first person for this. So yeah, we're still hemorrhaging money with this, but it will eventually... Train 12 conditions very bad, huh? Oh, I got some super old things here. So these are from like when we started the game almost. Very bad, bad, mediocre, good, very good. Well, I guess this only affects emissions, which we don't really care about because that's not a mechanic in the game that's worth messing with. Yeah. And it's important to understand, like, channels like RCE with millions of subscribers, like, he's not, at this point, making videos about games. He's making videos about himself. And I hope you can understand what I mean by that. Like, he has a brand. His brand is his style of humor and how he approaches challenges. It's not necessarily the games that he's playing. Because he's not a streamer. He's a variety YouTuber. He plays a whole bunch of different stuff. He's got a couple core things like Timberborn, and I guess Cities Skylines might count as one of those. But at the end of the day, he has a specific style, specific brand that he does, that he's found that works for him and his audience, and he has a whole lot of success. Because that's what he's decided he's going to focus on. So, there's different people that have different styles of videos. That doesn't mean that other videos are bad. It doesn't mean other videos are better. It just means that's what they are. And if you want that kind of stuff, you go to watch them. And I find myself watching not everything he does, but his stuff is really fun on a level of here's a guy having a good time messing around with the games. Sometimes stuff goes well, sometimes it doesn't. But he's fun to listen to, and he's got a good sense of humor, even if it is younger than I would prefer in terms of like the jokes he makes. It's just relaxing. It's like a wholesome kind of thing where here's a guy who's having fun online. He's got a nice community, and he puts out consistent videos. It's always good to put up on my other monitor while I'm working on something. Hey, Paul. Yeah, so I'm not going to be a fan of like criticizing other people's styles, because at the end of the day, they're doing the stuff that works for them. Just because it's not something that works for me doesn't mean it's bad. Also, he has millions of subscribers, and he has like a whole enterprise. Like we talked about this last stream. I don't know how this keeps coming up, but he's got a card game he's selling. He's got a family. He's got a mortgage. Like he's got all the stuff he has to do. He's gonna do what makes him money. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I like the size of the community where it is now, because there's the people that come in. Like, we have 38 people on stream right now. 39 just went up. And the people who are talking in chat are people who've been talking in chat for a long time. And, like, I don't know you on a personal level. This is not a parasocial experiment or anything like that. But chat goes slow enough, unless we're playing the Beaver game, chat goes slow enough where I can actually interact with people. And a lot of you guys, like Paul just sent the message, member for 22 months, almost 2 years, supporting the channel. And I really appreciate that stuff. Whereas with, like, a bigger channel, if you have, I don't know, a couple thousand people on that, like, there's no possible way you can have a personal interaction with anybody. Like, yeah, you're going to make a ton of money, but why? I'd much rather have it be a smaller, tight-knit community where people know each other and enjoy just hanging out, not for the sake of, well, Senpai noticed me. Like, no, it's like we're having a good time playing with trains on the internet in this specific instance. Yeah, sometimes I do find myself getting kind of irrationally angry at some stuff that gets posted, and I'm just like, you know what? It's time to go outside, touch grass. That farm came out of nowhere. It literally just right now did. Okay. But I said a couple times in the videos, like, if this stops being fun, I'm going to stop doing it. But for now, it's fun. It pays my bills, and I get to talk to you guys. And I can't imagine that being a bad thing. Yes, email client. I don't understand how. Like, I can get no emails all day, and then as soon as I hit record or I go live, if I don't shut the email client, I'll get a tremendous quantity of emails. So I guess to another angle of that same thing we've been talking about for the past 15-20 minutes, there is going to come a time where I do get tired of making video game videos every single day, and I'm going to need to do other stuff, which is why I'm starting the process of trying to do a couple of other things. And I don't know how much people are or are not going to like them, but I do need to start because, you know, nothing lasts forever. And there will come a day when the Beaver game will fall out of fashion in its micro community, whatever it has right now. And at that point, I will need to be doing something else. So I'm going to try this fall to get this other thing going on where I do model railroading stuff and maybe some real life videos, trip report type things. Might launch that September. I don't know. I have a lot of work behind the scenes to do for that. But, you know, just different things that aren't the same thing every single day helps keep you less focused on, I have to do this or everything's going to be terrible and then I'm going to be homeless, which would not be the case anyway. Like, it's fine. But variety is the spice of life. Working my way through the back catalog, seeing changes in your play is riveting. Yeah, those early videos are terrible. Well, the game was also brand new. When I first started doing the Timberborn videos, the game was completely brand new. Nobody knew anything about it unless you'd played the alpha. And it's been interesting. Like, every once in a while, someone will comment on those with asking me, like, why I didn't do X, Y, Z. Like, my guy, that wasn't even in the game. That wasn't even in the game at all when I was doing that. Paul gifted 5 memberships. Thanks very much, Paul. I really appreciate it. Who's got them? Bearded Wizard, Mike O'Donnell, Mike Bro D, Gorsnet, and I'm not sure how to pronounce that, actually. If you're in chat, let me know, because I don't want to do you a disservice and say it wrong. But thanks very much, Paul. I recognize most of those names. So Choo Choo Mod apparently works. I've been told it works, or it works enough. I am hesitant to build a playthrough around it because it has been known to break when the game gets updated. But I would like to make good use of it. Penguin Kingdom, after a certain point, the videos did really, really poorly. And some people got irrationally angry at it, which was objectively funny. But I would not be opposed to doing it again. I just don't know that there's a reason to. Because the game, as far as I know, has not received any updates. And we did basically everything there was to do. Yeah, early Timberborn update 2, before they changed how the storage worked, was kind of a pain to scale things. And it was very, very slow. Like, the game itself mechanically was very slow because there was not enough optimization done. So you couldn't really have a colony any larger than about 200 beavers on the same computer that I had until March of this year, without it just absolutely chugging. It was like 15 frames per second. But then they changed a whole bunch of stuff, redid the pathing, redid the district mechanic, and now I can run at single time speed. We had that last week, almost 1,300 beavers, and it was playable. It was rough, but it was playable at, I don't know, 20 FPS. It's just astounding that the game works as well as it does now, if you were there from day one. Yeah, Penguin Kingdom in the endgame is very tedious. And we talked about that a little bit when we were playing the game and making videos on it, but it seems like a game that was not really fully finished in terms of balancing mechanics, because endgame, when you're the king, it's almost impossible to stay the king unless you have absolutely everything economically perfect and you're producing a whole lot of stuff you can sell for money, because it's so expensive to maintain your status and do all the tributes and host all the festivals and everything. But it was still a very fun game to play. And I never would have thought about it. I think somebody might have mentioned it once, but the developers actually reached out to me and gave me a key for it. Like, I wasn't paid to play the game, but they did give me a key for it to try it out. And I liked it enough to do another series on it. Yeah, I'm not going to say I'm never going to play it again, but the way things are now, I don't see a compelling reason to do another video series on it. Yeah. The whole selling off of penguins, and then like one guy got really mad in the comments, said that I was promulgating the tenets of communism by separating the children from their parents. Like, dude, it's a video game about penguins who live on icebergs and have industrial processes. Like, you gotta separate yourself from reality here. Just want to say awesome content. Keep up the great work. I am glad you enjoy it. Thanks for popping in. We are going to actually play the game at some point, but we're having a little bit of a chat currently. Oh, Pamela, legendary. legendary penguin Pamela. Like, parts of that were really, really fun, because you get those in-jokes, and you get the different things that make community. It's not just some guy talking into the void, because then you have the memes with Pamela, and you have all the orcas and all that stuff coming in to destroy all your buildings. You're like, all right, what are they going to do this time? Like, no, you have a good time with it. Okay, so this is actually getting some pretty decent utilization, but it's still hemorrhaging money, as passenger rail tends to do. Wait, I can change the color? Can I repaint the locomotive? Ooh, look at that. Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't even know you could do this. Oh, that's so yellow. Okay, well, where's my Milwaukee Road orange? Close enough. That actually looks kind of nice. Well, this is passenger only, so cargo wouldn't work on this. It would substantially make things worse, but we do need to have cargo hub. That's what I said in the description I was going to do. BNSF. Well, historically speaking, in 1925, BNSF would have been like 12 different railroads. Great Northern being the one that would have the closest paint scheme to this on passenger units. You could build 2% of the vehicle cost per paint job. Oh, yikes. Well, okay, we're not going to do that again then. Do you have any idea what the labor costs are for repainting a loaded train in transit? Well, you know, it's 1925. I don't think OSHA existed yet. I would imagine it's probably not a very fun or safe process. I don't know, maybe it's fun if you're, you know, a glutton for punishment, but we do have corner-to-corner passenger service working. Vancouver is sending 10 people to Corona. Well, they're not taking the train there. 14 to New York. Actually, no, 25 total. And Vancouver is sending its own people to Vancouver. Okay, great. That's... no. Now, I've got... wow, 250 going to Hollywood? Where is Hollywood? Oh, okay, right here. So this train actually could have additional capacity. Ooh, 412-2s. We're getting into the big steam locomotives. I'm going to add, since we are here, going to add some more capacity so these guys can do what they need to do. Is this full? I guess I should have checked to see how much it actually had. Okay, that's the one that's shuttling back and forth. Yeah, sure, William. Oh, I'm not going to ask any questions. Oh. All right, look. Don't tell me stuff like that, because I'm going to believe you. I trust you. Don't make me not trust you. Look at all this stuff on the ground. Sheesh. Okay, if this doesn't load all the way, we won't expand it. Not even close. This one also does not load all the way. Is this all waiting for Hollywood? Sheesh. Okay, well, I guess we probably should increase the amount of gondolas on this. 108 capacity. Oh, I can't because it doesn't have any more space. I need a faster train. That top speed is only 50 miles. We need the high-speed freight. Come on. Did you ever adjust the loading time settings? Probably not. This isn't full anyway, so I guess it's fine. See, now that I expanded this to be a lot higher capacity, I think it's going to even out. Where's the train? There it is. Yeah, see, it's full at 96. Do I have mods installed? I don't think so. I don't remember. I don't think I have any code mods. I tried to get custom assets so we could have different types of locomotives and stuff, but I couldn't ever get them to load. Never really had very much success doing that in general. I might try when we get to about, like, 1970, 1980 to get some of the other Amtrak stuff in here for passenger stuff, but I don't know how that's going to play out. Alright, so back to this nonsense over here. If I can find it. The initial loop. The tool factory. We're not shipping enough. They're not able to keep up with all this. So Birmingham's taking a ton of fuel. This needs to be upgraded, but I kind of don't want to do it until I have something way better. Any other colony sims or other games of the sort you'd be interested in besides the Beaver game? So I actually basically don't play games outside of doing YouTube because I don't have time. Which I guess takes us back to before asking about other games. I have to be able to make sure that it's going to work before I do it, because I was really upset with myself about Oxygen not included, because people have been asking, begging for it forever, and then I do it and I was terrible at it, and I didn't feel like those were worth watching. So I just didn't. I'd like to get back into that, but I have to find the time to actually play the game and get comfortable with it first. I don't know. I was thinking last night at 5 a.m. when I'm still not asleep about, maybe I should take a couple days off and just not do anything. But then I get I get that kind of anxiety about if you don't do something, then everything's going to collapse and you're going to have to go like work in fast food or something. Which I do not care to work in food service again. Almost put me in the ground. But let's follow this guy for a while. See how many tools he's getting, because if he's full, then we can add additional capacity. If not, then we've probably done something terribly wrong. Okay, this is only loading 15. Oh, because Birmingham's got 30 allocated. Okay. And this, until the rest gets shipped out, it's not going to grow. But it's not filling what I have available for it. So what am I supposed to do about that? I have been going full throttle for a while now. I got caught... Really, what's the correct way to say this? There's not really, I can't think of a better way than say I got caught with my pants down about how all the Beaver game updates just came out of nowhere. Okay, 28 out of 36. Why is it not loading? Why is it not loading as much? Alright, click on this. It doesn't even load this all the way, but then it says it doesn't have enough shipment happening and it can't make anything else. Doesn't make any sense. You cannot upgrade the factories yourself. They do have to have all of their stats maxed, and then they'll go to the next level. But there's a limited amount of upgrade that they can do. So when the Timberborn Update 7 thing dropped, well, Update 6, I had a little bit of heads up on the actual full release because I was sponsored by Mechanistry for the first couple episodes of that series. So I knew like a month and a half in advance of when Update 6 was going to drop full. Update 7, that was not the case. And we got the early access, whatever, experimental release of that in February. And I already had a couple things going on that I had to kind of put on hold. And then those did really well. The videos and the streams that I had on that did incredibly well. And then I had to start a couple new series with that. And then right around the time I was in the middle of a couple things, then the full release dropped, and I did not get notified about that one. So then it was like drinking through a fire hose for like 6 straight months on Beaver game content. And then the entire time I'm waiting for the Ostrov update to release, because we've been told for 2 years, almost 2.5 now, that Alpha 6 is coming. But, you know, the situation over there is what it is. And I'm absolutely not going to disparage developers of that game for taking whatever time they need. But I know as soon as that comes out, I want to be way on top of that. So I'm constantly thinking about, okay, well, what happens if this drops tomorrow? What am I going to do about the ongoing series that I have right now? It ends up being kind of a lot to try and deal with all at once, when you know that you don't have a backlog that you can lean on in terms of videos that are pre-made. At this point, I'm basically, every video I'm making a couple of hours before it gets uploaded. There was a situation when I had a couple different playthroughs in different games where I could have maybe 2 or 3 days in advance, everything ready to go. But that's just not possible with the way we're doing these. And it ends up being a lot. Weeknight stream of just playing random games I enjoy would be great if YouTube would not absolutely just massacre my channel for uploading random stuff. And that was part of the reason why I wanted to do Twitch again, because Twitch doesn't care. YouTube, if I do anything that is not outside this very narrowly defined scope of content, it just nukes my reach and nobody gets shown videos. The Badwater update was update 5. That was September of 2023. That was a very, very good time to be on top of Beaver stuff. And now the other thing now is, like, people know about the game, and I have much, much, much bigger channels that are playing Timberborn when it gets released, and they get early access to stuff because, you know, if you're the developer of the game and you have a channel that has 1 million subscribers, say, hey, I want to do stuff on here, of course you're going to let them do it. Why wouldn't you? But little old me, not quite the same thing. And at the time Update 5 came out, if you searched Timberborn, at least in my testing on other devices, logged out, whatever, I would be like 8 or 9 of the top 10 results for Timberborn videos. And when Ostrov got its last update, the last major one for Alpha 5, I was every single search result for that game for like a week and a half on the top page. So when you have that kind of favor with the YouTube algorithm and search engine optimization, all that, it really makes you want to do everything you can to make sure you have as much done as possible. And the channel grew tremendously when Timberborn Update 5 came out, Update 6 came out, Ostrov Alpha 5, all that. So you'll notice if you follow the trend of how many subscribers, how many views, whatever, it really spikes right when there's an update, and then it falls off a cliff. It just stays incredibly stable, which, you know, stable's good. But YouTube is a game of numbers. If you want to play it like a game and not just having fun, then it starts to become a thing where you have to be concerned about what you're doing to try and stay relevant as what you have developed your core competencies in gets discovered by the general public, and then people with huge channels that have editors and this and that and all that get access to stuff, and then all of a sudden, okay, well, now what? No other creators who have a separate channel for random things. Yes. I don't know that I want to make a separate channel for other video game stuff, but I do want to make a separate channel for other interests, which is where the train stuff's going to come in. And then maybe at some point, what I actually went to school for, to make documentary content, I can do another channel for that. But that's the kind of thing where if you want to do it right and you don't want to just make slop, then you're going to spend a couple hundred hours to make a single 20-minute video. And that is not sustainable if your stuff gets like 100 views. It is just objectively a huge waste of your time from a business perspective. So there has to be some sort of an audience built up in advance of that being a thing. That would maybe say, oh, well, I like this guy because he did this. I'm going to go watch whatever else he does. Because if you just start out from nothing making documentary content, no one's ever going to watch anything you make. It's not going to serve it to anybody. I am close to 20K. I've been close to 20K for 3 months. And it's very, very, very slowly crept up. But now the subscriber number has actually gone down over the past week or two. It's just interesting to follow all this. Sometimes I wonder if the YouTube algorithm is bad for creators' mental health. It is absolutely toxic for mental health. That's why you have to balance things. And that's part of the reason why I'm trying to branch out and do other stuff. And figure out ways to make it so I don't have to be worried about how stuff goes all the time. Badwater was a really good update, because a lot of people said Timberborn was too easy. And to a certain degree, I think it is still too easy, but Badwater actually added a challenge that made you think outside of just, okay, we'll just spam a whole bunch of stuff everywhere. Now you have to think about how fluids flow. All right, so clearly this hasn't been super successful here while we're sitting here just messing with stuff. We need to get more stuff in here. We need more planks, which means our trains that are hauling stuff around the circle need to get larger. So if we go, let's see, where tool. What line is? Excuse me. What line is this? Is it machines distribution? No. Plank distribution? No. Plank supply. So why is that red? No, that's not it either. Tool production loop. There we go. So these, I think I've already maxed out length on this. Not quite. I can put one more, but these are not, locomotives are not fast enough. That's the Mikado. Whoa. Yeah, see, this is the big boy right here. Well, it's not the big boy. There's literally a locomotive called Big Boy, but that's not this. I guess for right now, I will just add another flat car to each of these. 120 capacity. I'm going to add 2. It might slow down loading a little bit, but it's going to increase the amount they can actually do. Oh, no, that's actually perfect length. I maybe could add 1 more, but then it's going to say 0.98 times loading speed or whatever. Well, I could upgrade. Oh, I have so much money. Why am I sitting here worried about this? You know, there's nothing wrong with the Mikados, but class 9000. Oh boy. Look at that. Look at that tractive effort. 96,680 pound-feet. 4,800 horsepower. That's like as much as a modern diesel engine. They're like 4,400. All right, 36 million bucks. There you go. Let's follow these bad boys around. That is a large locomotive. Yeah, see, it does that 0.99 times thing. But if we can get more moving, then that should upgrade. Rolling coal, literally, yes. Unless these are oil-fired. Nope, that's coal. Later on, toward the end of the steam era, they did have them burning oil. But most of them were coal, yes. So this is actually the most up-to-date freight wagons that we have access to. Remember, it's still 1927. We're probably not going to get higher quality freight cars for another 10, 15 years. Why are the train... This is the longest the train can be. Without me upgrading the stations. Which means I'd have to redo the entire loop. This couldn't even get all of its logs out. Yeah, this can't produce quickly enough. It needs more wood. You have the equivalent of $1 billion. How about that, huh? No, it's not the first one. The first ones are shorter. Yes, we do need more log producers. I do not remember where the rest of them are, if we even have any over here. Okay, there's one right here. So I could have a second train just going in like this. Which, you know, that would not be that difficult of a thing to do. So let's do that. You know what? I'm not going to worry about it being a electrified or not. So we have a second platform here. Very easy to come in here with a cargo station. And just get that set up there. Very fast. 75 the whole way. So we make a new line. There to there. Let's do tools supply. No. Plank supply 2. Now, I probably should stop building so many of these locomotive depots, but I kind of don't want to figure out... Wait. Oh, now I have high-speed track. Just in time. Okay, we're going to upgrade our passenger service. I need to do this first. Okay. So this guy is absolutely overkill. I don't care. Yeah. I think this can do 120. Just roll with that. And that gets to be plank supply 2. Just go back and forth. Really, really, really juice up our production here. There are logs waiting at the station, yes, but you'll note that it's still not enough to fill these trains. Having this guy by himself is going to make this a lot faster. Yeah, see how fast this fills up. Yeah, 2/3. And this will get upgraded. Wait, why does this not have a free path? Oh! Oh, this has, this is the path from Birmingham. I should have not made this an interlocking. That's a problem. Because now this guy's not going to go because that guy's in the way. Okay, well, if I just do one of those, that'll help this go a little. Oh, I didn't think that was gonna. I didn't think that was gonna stop. Okay, that's a little dicey, but it does seem to be working. So this should be going up, which means this should be going up. The shipment on this is still 112. All right. Well, I said I was going to upgrade my my tracks here to the high speed. So let's do that. And then that means our passenger trains will be able to go substantially quicker. I do think the station platforms have to be upgraded for high speed as well. But we will get to that when we get to it. Because the passenger cars that we have can go 112. I think the locomotive can only do 75. But we're going to have to check and see what's happening here. There it is. Yeah, it might not get to full speed for a while. Oh yeah, the signals absolutely could be further out. So this tops out at 75. And that is because of this guy. But at some point, we're going to get the Hiawatha, which is, I think, in this game can go close to 100 miles an hour. I'm not sure. Class 9K speed is 62 miles per hour. But I know the passenger trains can go faster because this one says 112. So, well, when the Hiawatha comes up, we'll see. But the electric trains aren't going to get much faster than this until we get to the Metro liner, I think. Because that was the one the Bud Company developed in response to the Japanese making the Shinkansen in the 60s. And then I believe it was New York Central Railroad took one of the Bud cars and strapped a jet engine to it to try and make it go fast. And it did go fast. It wasn't like 150 miles an hour, but it was unbelievably unsafe. So they never actually, used it in passenger service. But for the time being, this is the best we have, and we will have to wait. But these have been upgraded. And I might as well, at some point, upgrade these station tracks for high speed as well. Yes, decor in high traffic areas. You got that right. So, Birmingham is doing quite well. Not quite maxed on fuel, tools, or actually construction material just got maxed. So this is, I guess, technically our hub here. Oh, you know what? We never actually hooked this up. The fastest diesel in this game, I'm not sure Because in real life, the fastest diesel that we have in the U.S. would be the Siemens Charger, which has been used in revenue service at 125 miles per hour in a couple different spots. But in theory, could probably do 150 in the right conditions. But the fastest diesel you're going to have elsewhere in the U.S. is going to be, I think Amtrak's P42s can do 110 miles per hour in parts of the Midwest. But that's about as fast as the engine can go. In this game, I don't know what it's set to, because the speeds on this aren't really that accurate. But the diesels we're going to get are not going to be quick. They won't be fast until like the 80s. Hello, hello. Lunch and live stream. What you eating? Got something good? We need to get this set up. So I need to make sure. See, the mountains are a problem, because I'm going to have steel go here. Or I could bring steel in from over here, but this is technically closer. I need to have the sawmill make planks, and those planks need to go here, and then this needs to go here. That's what this path was for to get in. Tater tots. Love me some tater tots. Cargo station here would still connect. Would still connect. I do think it's going to be better for us to have two separate stations for this, just for the sake of logistics. So if I have this go straight in from here, I think that's going to be viable. Obviously, this is going to be a tunnel at some point. I don't think I need to make the stations any longer for this to go here to here, especially if the planks are just coming in like that. And I'm not doing high-speed tracks for freight. That would be a tremendous waste of time. But if I have this set up here, then that's going to be a tunnel. That's going to come straight out here and be hooked up that way, I guess. I guess that's fine. It actually looks kind of decent. Sandwich and local nectarines. Yeah, the UK intercity ones are fast. 148 miles per hour. See, now I'm curious, because I know when Brightline in Florida was testing their chargers on the new track that they built between Orlando and... Oh, what's that? Fort Stewart doesn't have a station. Anyway, they built brand new track, brand new right of way, and they ran their trains at 130 during testing, but they're only allowed to do 125 for service. I don't know that a charger has gone any faster than 130. But it's still relatively new, so someone's going to do it at some point. Need to cheat in some maglevs. That would be great. I'm going to take out my road here, because I want to straighten this out, and I want to have the track be in the spot where it's supposed to be. I'm going to have that go here and then connect to... Actually, you know what? I didn't need to get rid of this then. Oops. Well, that's fine. Let's get this connected to this side. And then I guess that's fine there. I really should have just done the thing that made the most sense and not deleted all the roads, but that's fine. This will be good enough. I will, oh, and see, now I have access to other roads. What happened to my country roads? Oh, they're not, John Denver will be so upset. Oh, why is it like that? Why are you the way that you are? Come on. Can you just be normal? Good. And here I go again, making another train depot when I don't really need to have another train depot. I don't think there's a way for me to... Yeah, no. Okay. That's fine. I will just have to put in a stub on the end here. Is that going to intersect with the road? Man. Okay, now I have this line that has to go here to here to here to drop off planks. Now, I know this is probably not the most ideal thing ever, but it's probably going to be fine if it's fast enough. And I can also have another one come in here. All right. Well, as soon as I said that, then you said that. All right. That's I guess. But you know what? I have unbelievable amounts of money. I don't need to be worrying about this. Station tracks electrified? They are. Okay. Okay, so now I've got 3 tracks here. This one is going to have to go to this guy, which, for the sake of easy, is going to go there. Look at this mess. Like, what? Why? That was just so unnecessary for that to be jacked up like that. Yeah, I just need to have this go to a different track, and then this can just be the 3rd track entirely. That should be fine. Which means I will have that done. And then that will have to go from... Did that actually connect? No, it did not. I think that connected. All right. So that'll go in there. That'll go in there. And then this one will go into here, but then this will also need to have a separate platform for getting into the... So why does this one have a separate thing for... Okay, whatever. So now that has to go into this other thing here. Find that to... Wait, I could have definitely have just left that there and put... Okay, whatever. There. And then that has to go to... See, look at me batting 1,000 already. Good job. We'll just redraw all of this. There we go. Except now the problem is these aren't going to all have the right kind of vehicle on them. So, see, that's there. These aren't going to play nice without train depots on every single track. Unless I instead have a track come out from here. Why? That'll end up being for this set of 2 tracks. And then this doesn't need to be here. Right, so that handles that. Then this will need to have... I guess I could have this connect here. But if it only goes to one platform, then it shouldn't have any stupid problems. So then that can have its own lead. Alright, now I should actually look at chat. Huh? Station size only for cargo, or passenger. I don't think I understand what you're getting at. Apologies. Okay, so this line can go away. We'll just restart. All right. So this will be, they call it Flint Branch. Sure. Log supply 1. Then this will go here to here. There's not 2 G's in log. Sheesh. Okay, that here to here. It's going to be New York plank supply. And then this here to here, assuming this routes correctly, which it looks like it does. New York machine supply, which is not going to be a thing until we have steel. All right. We can start this mess, though. Let's make ourselves 2... Is this all electrified? It'll yell at me if it's not. There's just so much tractive effort. It just makes so much sense to have this. We need to have flat cars for all of these. So if I go right to, I think 108, I buy 2 of these. And this one can be for that. This one can be thank you email client for that. We probably don't need that to be set that way, but I guess it's fine. This one should come out and go to the first one. There it goes. And then once that's left, then the second one will come out. All right, seems to be working. Yes, the electric train record is nuts. I was so mad when I found out that TGV, whatever, I'm not French, just stands for high-speed train. Like, oh, what a cool acronym. Like, okay, well. Again, my French pronunciation is horrible. Train Grande Vitesse or whatever. High-speed train. Come on, man. 357.2 miles per hour is incredibly fast for a train on actual wheels. For reference, the maglev that some people are like absolutely rabid over, say it's going to solve all the problems, doesn't really go that much faster than that comparatively, like 450, 500 miles an hour. When you consider that a normal commuter rail service in most areas is not going to go faster than 79 miles per hour in the US. The Acela on the Northeast Corridor in, the Northeast United States currently maxes out at 150, and it can only go 150 for very small portions of its route. The new Avalia Liberty train sets that are finally entering service in August, late August, this is August of this year, can technically go 165, but they're not going to be allowed to go that fast. I think they're going to be allowed to go 160 and only in a few spots. But that is based off of a similar design that Alstom is using in France, and those I think they can do 186, maybe 200, but they have slightly different technology in there that the American ones did not get. Might be overdoing it on the shortest log run. Yeah, probably. Shinkansen basically means, well, I don't know if it's new train specifically. Shin is new in Japanese. I don't know a lot of Japanese, but I do know that. But I'm pretty sure like a railroad, like the traditional term for railroad in Japanese is like tetsudo, maybe, which is like literally translated the iron way, which is kind of metal, honestly. I think that's cool. Well, get it? Kind of metal, iron way, whatever. New main line. There you go. But it's interesting because Japanese railways, if you know anything about them, are only narrow gauge, except the Shinkansen is, what we would call standard gauge. 4 feet, 8.5 inches, or whatever that is in metric, I don't know. But basically every other train in Japan uses narrow gauge, which theirs is, now I'm going to have to look this up. It's like 3 foot something. 3 foot 6 inch, which in millimeters is 1067. Standard gauge, 4 foot 8.5 inches is 1435 millimeters. Okay. So, yes, this is extreme overkill, having a capacity for 108 logs at a time on this. But it'll grow. Oh, HO that's a model train gauge. So I guess additional fun facts, if you are modeling Japanese trains. I tried to scroll out to turn the background music down. That's how you know my brain is fried. Because Japanese trains use the narrow gauge, Japanese HO scale is not 1/87th like American HO scale is. Japanese HO scale is 1/80th because the distance between the rails is still going to be the same relative to the size of the vehicle, but they scale them up slightly because it's narrow gauge. And then where the rest of the world in scale, or 9 millimeter distance between the tracks, is 1 in 1/50th. Japanese in scale, or no, it's 1 in 1/60th. Japanese in scale is 1 in 1/50th. Why are we groaning? Is it because we're having train discourse now? Yeah, Russian broad gauge is a completely different story. And there's actually some in North America that used broad gauge before everything was standardized. Let's see. Yeah, 1,524 millimeters. Yeah, that's 5 foot, more or less. Technically, 1,520 millimeters is 4 foot 11 and 27/32. But yeah, 1,524 would be right at 5 foot. And I think in the U.S. during Civil War era, there were some lines that used the 5 foot broad gauge. But then, all that stuff happened, and they ripped out a bunch of train tracks as a result of it, and then they rebuilt them to the standard 4 foot 8.5 inches. Okay, so this is not shipping anything, because this is not having a desire to consume, because it does not have any steel. And the steel is made all the way down here. So to get this into here, we would have to go either under and then come up to another platform here, which I guess we do have. That might be the most elegant solution to this. I think it's to be expected to have train nerds playing and watching the train game. I mean, yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like on the tin. So, if you don't like that, sorry. But we're talking about trains. It's unavoidable. So this, if I don't want to have conflicts with everything over here, this needs to be going underneath this, I think, for the best possible outcome. Because this is going to be coming in here. So let's come out here. Then to get down to this mess, I do want to go underneath it. But it's not going to let me. If I have this down here, then I get to here and I go down more. See, that's not going to... See, now it says collision. Is that because of the height? It shouldn't be. That's plenty of clearance. So maybe it just doesn't like the degree to which we are going down. I don't know, let's try... No, it really does not like that, huh? Alright, maybe we will have to just have an interlocking here. It's usually best to avoid those. If I had this just all the way... See, that's basically perfectly level there, which is nice. Too much slope. Really, you don't say. What? Come on, what is this? Okay, let's... Before we get too carried away here, let's give ourselves a station here. And that is what needs to connect to this track. Which means it's going to have to go under a bunch of mountains. Now, if I just connect straight to this, you know what? that might not be the worst thing that's ever been built. Ah, yes. Oh, yes. Don't I know it. Part of the problem fast passenger train stuff in the U.S. is the legacy track is... okay, I think I know what you're saying here. Yeah, so the U.S. decided probably about 50 years ago that it was going to give up on being serious about passenger rail because it wasn't profitable and there was an economic downturn, and then all the regular railroads were losing money on passenger operations, and the government bought them out, and created Amtrak, which is the National Railroad Passenger Corporation. It's technically a private company whose majority stakeholder is the federal government. And because that's how that's set up, it has all sorts of other benefits and problems that come with it. But the infrastructure in the U.S. was neglected for passenger rail because air travel became popular and private automobiles became popular. And there's not enough density in most of the country to support high-speed passenger rail as an alternative that is compelling because of how other stuff has been built up. And if there's no financial incentive to do anything, you can be absolutely certain Americans aren't going to do it. So, do I wish they would invest more? Absolutely. Will that happen? Not without radical and extreme change to how this government operates, but that is not for me to discuss or try to persuade people on. Don't do a bridge. What else am I supposed to do? This is actually level track. If I didn't do a bridge, this would be going just like insano mode. It does solve the crossing issue. And it directly connects to this. It does look kind of weird though, but it's fine. Now we need to get all of these materials in, so we can have one for the iron ore mine, and we can have one for the coal mine. Once again, super easy, super simple. We'll just need to have another set of platforms here. And then we'll need to have a station here, which, depending on how we want to do this, might actually be better. Okay, this road is going to be annoying, isn't it? See, I don't want it snapped like that. Can I turn off snapping? I actually don't know. Alright, I don't need to pause it to do this. Alright, we'll just disconnect this. Makes it harder for everyone. If this is right about like this, I think that's going to be good enough to get this connected here. So that, I think, would be best here. Yeah, we'll go with that. That gets those two there, and then I need to have one going over to this. That goes right to the middle. All right. Cool. So now I just have to have trains go on this. Which, if we want to be smart... Oh, this is hideous. Too much curvature. Wah. I guess I'll just have to have this go through here and then connect on this side. And then same story with this here. So now those are all connected to the same thing here, and we can put in one of those train depots. Just get that connected very simply here. No, not there. All right, now we have to make lines. So this will be... I connected to the wrong thing. I'm sure that's, yep. All right, well, you know what? We'll start with this. Let's call this New York Steel Coal Supply. I know. This is what happens when I get distracted. Bad things happen. This has to go to... Why can I not see? Okay. I wanted this comparatively much easier to build. Rotate tiny bit more. Now that gets connected to this. Is this actually a good route? Probably not. Yeah, let's just draw this completely new. Just straight from the crossing here. All the way into... Oh, come on. Ah, yes, tunnel, because everything needs to be a tunnel. Well, it's fine. We care more about efficiency than anything else anyway. Okay, so that is... We'll call this New York Steel Iron Supply. And that is probably the train I should send first when I make one of these. Just keep that in mind. So we have coal, we have iron, and then this needs to go from here to here, which, again, should be routed just fine. That is going to be... how did I... Plank supply... We'll just call it New York Steel Supply. And then this has a line going in here. Okay, so we got a lot of stuff we have to set up. Do I have a train ready to go for this? No, I do not. Okay, we will get this set up one piece at a time. I think, yeah, this one will have to be first based on how this is set. All right. So it's all electrified, right? Good. We need to send steel beams. Those go on flat cars. So I don't think it's going to need any more than this. So that will be New York Steel Supply. Let that thing go. Logs to the steel factory, yep. Oh, am I dropping frames again? Yeah, I'm starting to drop frames. One Piece is apparently, depending on who you ask, either the best thing ever made or complete slop. I'm inclined to believe it's good. But I'm also not watching 1,200 episodes. It's just, I don't have that kind of time. Now let's make another thing. See, now I get self-conscious about what I'm doing with this. Wait, what? Okay, no, I don't need this. Get that out of here. I will do... Let's do 108. 108, 2 of these. One for the New York. There's too many things to scroll through here. Steel coal supply. I guess I'll have to have... Oh, I should have sent the other one first. Oh well. They'll figure it out. So this, once this is at the other station, this one can go. It'll stop it. Waiting for free path. Oh man. See, I hate it when this happens. Except now, okay, this has to be reassigned to iron supply. And then it can go. And then this is the one, as soon as that comes out. It's just going to have mixed stuff. It's fine. Then this one just has to get changed, but it's already been assigned to something else, which needs to be set to... coal supply. I'm pretty sure this is going to be fine. Yeah, because that's going there. There we go. We have spent a lot of money, and we're not making very much. There you go, Alco 600. One of the first diesels. 50 miles an hour top speed, for those of you who are curious. Did I actually have... Okay, I do have a train going this way. I don't think we're going to need signals because these ideally should never converge like this. This is just for the purpose of having, what do you call it? This single depot. So why is this waiting for a free path? Ah, that's the signal bit. Well, this doesn't have to be connected anymore. So there we go. I think that solved their problem. I just needed that to be connected so I could actually build the trains. Okay, so that should be going there, which means this now has, in theory, should have stuff, but now it doesn't have a supply for the machines to go. So what is missing here? Do I not have... do I not have a thing on this? See, I can't even remember what I've done yet. Okay, nothing is on this, the plank supply. Okay. That is what was getting done here. Okay. Now I could just have this little pathetic 612 horsepower diesel, or I can have another one of these guys. So that's going to be planks on this. And that gets set to New York plank supply. And that should allow us to start making machines. But the problem is now I need... Oh, you know, I didn't... Okay, I keep doing this the wrong way. All right, let's hit pause. Let's think about this. Can this transport machines? No, it cannot. Oh, I can't. All right. You know what? I'm just going to get rid of it, and we're not going to worry about it. And we'll start over. I don't care how much money it costs. Now, $12 million is not going to be enough for us to actually run everything. But it's going to be okay. Now I have to have boxcars for machines. Let's do this. Set this to New York machine supply. There. That needs to be running that route because then I can have another train run this. I'd like to avoid loans if I can. Cannot connect all stations for coal supply. What? Did I mess this up? I think I did. New York City South. Okay, coal supply wants to connect to 2. There we go. Okay. That works. See, the cash flow is, that's rough. That's just because we bought a whole bunch of stuff. We're still making... Oh, never mind. Okay, we were still making a decent amount of money at some point, but that obviously has nothing going for it. That obviously has nothing going for it. This needs to now have a train to go between here with the planks and here with the machines factory. So this is the part where I guess I can get this set ready to go. What? Okay, what is this? A 1-to-1, 2-to-1? What's this? 1-to-1. Okay, then this will be adequate. Well, what happened to that? All right. I just had this. I just had this all set up ready to go. Okay, I need $14,700,000. How do you upgrade the stats so the factories grow? You have to utilize them. You have to take all of the product that they're producing, and then they'll start producing more. So we should, in the next little bit, make enough money to get this guy going, and then it's really going to just absolutely explode. And then we'll take a look at the passenger stuff again. Do trams count as trains? The game doesn't seem to think so, because they're part of the bus category. This seems determined to not give me enough cash to buy this. I'm going to have to take out a loan. Yeah, it's killing margins, but it's going to be better long run. No, I'm not using them. They do ride on tracks, but they are street vehicles, which is why they are in the road category. I wish I had better diesels. So this costs $2 million a year to run. This costs 1/10 of that. And this costs more... Wait, I got a bunch of these, and this costs more than the electric vehicle. I actually don't know what the requirements for the achievement are, to be perfectly honest with you. So we're going to let that sit for a little bit. And check in on... That's not Vancouver. That's also not Vancouver. Where am I? Oh, I got turned way around. This is a mess over here. So I didn't check how this is. See, this is only at 113. We've upgraded all of this stuff, and it's still only at 113. I did. I added quite a lot of running costs. But it's going to make a lot of money once everything's actually connected. Alright. So, this train... I guess it does make sense for us to modify this so that we can have less running costs. Because, no. This guy costs us $2 million a year to operate. And this one costs more. This one costs a lot less. This one costs less than that, and it has a higher top speed. So that's what we'll do. That will save us some money, even if it is not quite as fast. Now I got 10 million because I sold one of the electric things. There is no metro. This game doesn't have transport like that. It's trains for ideally longer distances, and then you have, for street stuff, you have buses, trucks, and then trams. But if I only want to use trains, I can't use trams. So yes, all of these do not need to be the crazy electric trains, especially not when this is set up that way. This has more tractive effort, but it's also terrible. Yeah, I know this. It hurts me on a fundamental level to do this, but we do need to save money. That gets me another $6 million, which means this does not need to be anything except one of these guys. It's fine. It's fine. Is this going to be... See, now I forgot what I was doing. Okay, planks going in there. Okay. $62 miles an hour would be better. All right. So that is now plank supply. Or should be. I don't plan to do in-city transport. I can't with just trains. Like, the point of this is not to, like, beat the game. The point of this is to only use trains. I recognize that that sounds incredibly stupid, but that's what it is. Hello, Josh. But as this is set up, this station already covers basically all of the city. I know it's not going to grow if it doesn't have whatever, but like they can get to most of what they need to get to. I always go to the wrong corner of the map. Right now, Vancouver is only serviced by passenger. Like, I'm going to have another station for freight at some point, but... Yes, we're making so much more money. And Birmingham is doing very well. We have passenger over here, which only really gets to this half of the city, but the cargo is covering almost all of what it needs to. So that's fine. We're getting there. And these idiots can't decide what they want. Okay, I think I see what you're getting at. So if you have a train that's just going around in a circle with small stations, single car something, that might actually work nicely. I don't know if I have the desire right now to try to figure that out, but there's one of these. Is that under multiple units? Must be. Yeah, this guy, M300. This is like, you can smell him before you see him. This would be like the perfect thing for this. You have to make it to 2050. Well, it's 1930. So how I can get these till 1972. Okay, and the other multiple units I get for diesel are, I think there's a couple Russian ones, but I wouldn't get them on this playtest anyway. All right. See, now you have my curiosity, because if I were to just so this is oh, this isn't high speed. All right, so now this is an opportunity for me to just make this the high speed platform, and then I can swap the tracks over. All right, so we're gonna pause. And then on the inner circle here, I can have the little single dude. All right, so that is our main station right there. If we have another tiny little station, doesn't need to be paused anymore. Hopefully this line has figured out. What's that going to be? Okay, Birmingham Central needs to be platform 2. There we go. I just need to have, see, passenger station here gets all of that. I guess I could just do a couple small ones. I wish I could build modularly though, so I don't have to keep just deleting stuff. So this one goes there. This one would go here. You know what? I guess that's probably actually fine. And then we'll just have a, because we don't need to hit everything. We'll just put one there, one there, one there, one there. Because this already gets us most of that. This will be connected better anyway. Alright, so now I get to modify all of these stations because I do not need to have this many platforms. I guess I could keep 2. That might be alright. Platforms on both sides. Well, if I'm only doing a single loop, I don't really need it, do I? Okay, I don't know enough about this game. Oh, man. So I know there's an option when you're building the... Oh, well, that's what I just did. Okay. I only need 1, but then it doesn't attach to anything. 80's the shortest it's going to let me do. I guess it doesn't want to center it. So should I have 1 loop or 2? Like clockwise, counterclockwise kind of thing going on. That's probably okay, either way. Oh, but all this mess, this should be elevated. But I don't have elevated station options here. Maybe not. So if this goes here, well, I guess this is fine to be just like a regular loop like this. There's no subway option, unfortunately. What do you mean both sides? There is no both sides. The city's never going to get big enough to use the outside of this. Okay, you're speaking like a completely different language. I have no idea. Oh, of course that's a tool. I don't see options for stairs anywhere. Or you're talking about putting platforms on... okay, this has already melted my brain. 45? There's no way. I mean, I'm not saying you're lying. I'm just like, I don't believe it. That seems insane. Okay, got a little bit faster speed there. Alright. This, I think... I'll just go straight through this. See, you try to connect this, it says it's too much slope. I'm going to have to go over, which it's not going to want to let me do. Oh, the underpass. Okay, you said stairs. I was like, what the heck are you talking about? There's no stairs. Go under. I don't think it's going to let me go under. Yeah, that's as far down as it's going to let me go. Okay, so this... I guess this isn't a good spot for this then. Alright, that station is going to get rebuilt. I'm going to have to move this. Because I know they can build the city around this, but I'm going to have to do... I don't want curved, I want straight. If I just give him a little bit of a heads up here. Oh, I probably should upgrade that to a medium street. There. Then, if I give this a little bit more room... Yeah, 80 mil is the shortest it'll let me go. Like, I want to say there was some sort of elevation option for this, but I don't know. Well, the only thing that it's even close to stairs would be passenger underpass, which wouldn't matter unless I had a second set of tracks with another platform on this side, which would then need to have a building here so they could get to from the other side with another street, which I think might be what you're talking about. If I were to do that, what do you mean, no? That's the only stairs. There's no stairs. No building. Okay. Oh, side entrance. That's a new thing. Okay. I guess that's stairs. I don't know what that says, but should I assume that's a good thing? Okay, good. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best. All right, time to build them a terrible street grid so that they can have terrible street grid. Now that I know that's a thing, that's going to make, hopefully, things a lot easier. If I can get this to go over the street, it doesn't... Okay. I guess it doesn't matter. I'll just have... No, stop. I don't want it to be... Why is it like this? Alright, I guess I just have to start from nothing with that. Okay, construction not possible. Yeah. Cry about it. Why is it saved... that when I don't want... Come on. All right, we're just gonna do this. No. I'm not upset at you. I'm trying to figure out how to communicate effectively. You're fine. You're totally okay. All right, so this now, nope, won't let me go down. And I don't want that to connect. Hello, Devilish. Welcome to the Thunderdome of My Brain Doesn't Work. Why is this not letting me go any higher? This is not... It's not going to be enough, and I absolutely cannot have this set here. No, I can't raise the other tracks. Like, I got 4 tracks coming through here. English is hard for everyone. You are correct. Build tunnels before stations. Yeah, see, that probably would have been smart. I feel like this should let me go higher than it's letting me go. Which is unfortunate. Okay. I know this is going to absolutely just frustrate the ever-loving you-know-what out of you guys, but if I can make the station go higher... See, it's going to snap to the road no matter what. So I feel like I'm going to have to have... I'm just going to have it further away. Well, the tunnel's not going to want to get built first either. See, I don't even know how low it needs to go. If I start with 4 here, see, that's not low enough. Apparently, it says collision. Oh, wait, what? So that works, but that doesn't? All right, whatever. Okay, that let me get it in there. Okay. So now I just have to have this come up to the station that I am attempting to build. Okay, now let's try this. Too much slope. Okay, not really much of a surprise there. I guess these cowards don't want to figure out the right way to have stuff go in. Press C. Well, I can't hear you because you're not speaking, because you're typing. Okay. God, look, my brain is not cut out for this. I do not know all of the shortcuts. So, I understand it is frustrating to watch someone who does not know how they're playing the game compared to what you know, but I am trying. So this will actually... Oh, that looks so bad. That does not look good. But it is lower. No, it's not lower. No, it is lower. See, will it actually build stairs down to this, or is this just going to look absolutely terrible? So now I don't... Okay. Wow. Man, what? This is stupid. This is not the right way to be doing this. I'm just trying to build stuff, man. Oh god. All right. Well, it'll let me do that, which I guess that works. That's fine. So I can do that at least. If it's ugly but it works, it's not ugly. All right. So this will let me get up to here. This will let me get up to here. Now, how close, if I build a station, will that be to that? Oh, that's too far out. Now, shift does something else. If that goes down a tiny bit, but it won't let me click while I'm holding shift, and as soon as I release shift, it snaps it again. And I can't, okay, do I have to shift C? No, that's not connected at all. Because I guess it's too low. See, this is why I generally don't try to do this. It's not even... It doesn't even want to connect at all. Alright, you know what? I just have to have... This just needs to work. I don't need to reinvent the wheel. Alright. Holy crap, it actually connects. Alright. Now that we've, you know, suffered through all of that nonsense. Now I just have to platform connect. 2 more things here, because you know you're going to have it. I don't need another passenger building. Oh, but I do need a platform. And then that can just connect there. Close enough. Okay. Now that that's out of the way, finally can have this... Oh, I don't have another platform to connect that to. Well, I guess that can just go there. That's fine. Trains only achievement. You have to get to 2050 by only building trains. And it is, as you can see, a very frustrating endeavor. It's just not tremendous. Okay, side entrance. I'll just pop that there, and I'll give them a thank you email. Why am I getting so many emails? All right, so that's there. This goes around to here. So this will need to be connected to road at some point, but it does have a connection there. So if I prime them with a little bit of a street here, that's not actually perfect. See if I can get this to... This is going to be such a horrible, horrible street grid. It's like not even remotely funny. But that's fine. Alright. What a terrible street intersection. I love it. No, stop it. I don't want curved. It's fine. Why are you building the roads? Okay, look. Just do me the kindness, okay? Alright. Now, if this somehow ever gets that large, they will have access to it. I guess that's all I can really ask for. Alright, here we go again. Okay, passenger underpass. Platform. And then stairs. Then here this goes again. Again, I don't have a platform to connect this to, but it's available if we need it. So I could just have one going like that. First class entertainment. Well, I'm glad you're liking it. So this now has access here. I just need to have some sort of way to get a new thing built in here. It's going to need to have crossovers, which I guess that's fine to have there. They will police themselves on that, I believe. So we don't need to be worried about collisions if they're just going to the same platforms. Connected to the big station, just signal it. Oh god, me and signals do not get along. How far can I... Okay. Alright. I will have to stop it here. That's probably fine, and then I'll stop it on the other side when it goes in here. So this will have to come out. So this will definitely slow down going through the turnout. That's fine. Leave them in enough room so they don't crash into each other. Alright. So I guess that's fine. Alright. Now, here's where this gets interesting. So we'll have clockwise and counterclockwise. A station appears consecutively twice. How in the heck did that... Ah, that's right. I forgot. Okay. So, obviously there's one platform here at Birmingham Central, and it needs to be platform 1. Yes, because that's what color this is. Okay. Inner loop, platform 1. Okay, that's inner loop there. That's inner loop there. Okay. Let's call it Birmingham clockwise. Because that is the way it will go. And then we will need to have another one counterclockwise. If they even care to do that. Alright, so that will get separated. Aha, so here's where we have to have this changed. That goes to... Wait, what? Oh, come on. There. Wait, no. Go to the other... There. And all of these just need to be platform 2. And then when it gets around here, then whichever one loses will have to wait for the other one to leave. This is going to be such a disaster. This other platform needs stairs. Okay. I'll just do that. If you build it, they will come. Alright, now I get to build another street that's not connected to there. Let's see if I can get these to actually... There we go. Alright, maybe they'll use it. Maybe they won't. Find out next week on Dragon Ball Z. Now, I am kind of concerned that we're going to have... bunching happen with this. One more stair for symmetry. Well, it's not going to be symmetrical. Also, they're not really even stairs. It's kind of... Oh, God, that's awful. We're not going to look at that again. Okay, let's do this. Let's have this go all the way around here and join in there. I will reconnect this in a way that lengthens the amount of... What do you mean construction not possible? Bite me. Of course it's possible. Anything's possible if you believe in yourself. What the heck is... Oh, what? Why? Alright. Let's break out of this. I think the game is just upsetty spaghetti with me. Alright. So that will make it so much easier to have this actually reliably operating here. I'll just move this into here. And then this one here, I guess we'll need to do the same thing. Let's... I should have done this way a long time ago. I still don't understand what the heck this background track is supposed to be, like a guy talking into like a talk box or something. Alright. Signal. Signal. Have our lines been preserved? It looks like... Looks like they have. Okay. Now, the fun begins. I have to have a depot for this. So I will need somewhere... I don't know exactly where, but somewhere I will need to have one of those. Seeing how this is unlikely to build out past this way, I guess I will just pop that there. That can go straight in. This will hopefully allow me to do what I got to do. All right. After all that... No, I don't want to have... I want to buy 4 of these, not... All right. Okay. Birmingham clockwise shuttle. Oh, that's cute. I didn't name the other one, but we will. This is the counterclockwise shuttle. It should just start working. Okay. This is a long name. I probably should abbreviate it. Okay, so now it's going there. Okay, very good. Another one of these in the clockwise, and another one of these in the counterclockwise after it gets a certain distance. Okay. So, ideally, these will be spread out enough. Oh no, you only need signals going into a single track thing for this purpose. It's going to be fine. Yes, as the title implies, this is a game about transport. See, there we go. Now they all go into that one station. And maybe at some point, they will be able to continue building past the little ring there. Oh, someone's actually using it. Very good. It does look like bread, doesn't it? Well, now we have airplanes. We're not going to be building those, though. Okay, so this has stairs. Let's give them a street. That connects in a horribly ugly way, but it does connect. So soon they will have the ability to actually, you know, build stuff. Can I get away with... I can. That means that goes away. So now that's connected. I should probably... look how awful this is. Narrow angle? Look, we've been through this. It's fine. It's going to be okay. Too many trains on the loop. It's fine. Nobody's riding it anyway. Meanwhile, we still can't have everything they want, but... See, no one is waiting to ride the loop because they don't have anywhere to go. Well, that one's waiting. They want to go to New York City. Well... Look how tiny that is. That's hilarious. You know what I'm not seeing is I'm not seeing a lot of these guys having to wait at the signals. So that seems to work out. Good salsa in New York City. Well, they probably have something, at the very least. The city might not actually be big enough yet to need what we've built, but it's fine. Well, they haven't built anything else yet. This is just awful. Wait, we don't even need this road. We don't need this road at all because this is going to a goods factory we're not going to be using. All right, let's see what's going on in New York. How are we looking on? Wow, okay, machine supply is looking really good. Now they want food, and now they want construction material. Well, can't always get what you want. This has what on it? 13 machines. Okay. Now, for them to get food, we do have a farm right here, but we don't have a food factory. The food factories are probably way far away. Yeah, I don't see any food factories. Oh, okay, there's one right here. But that is, that's not going to be great. Okay, so this is overproducing iron. This doesn't have enough coming in. I guess that's fine. Is this the passenger train? It should be. No, it is not. What am I doing? I get turned around again. Okay, Vancouver. Got 36 people in Vancouver waiting for the train to come whisk them away, but I don't have a cheaper alternative, so it's just running with the passenger train on the steam locomotive again. At least we're making money. It is 1933. Do I have any other... I haven't looked at trains in a while. Do I have any other trains I could use? Where's my closest... here we go. No. Do not. Really could use something else. But this is what it is. Transport Finances tab. I mean, we're making money. This is looking less terrible. Multiple trains in a long distance run would make sense, yes. Generally what I end up doing whenever I've done this in the past is... How do I always get completely turned around? Oh, I was in the right spot anyway. No, I wasn't. That's not... Where the heck am I? Aha! I will double track all of these, and then I just have them go... But you can have passing, or you can just have the stations be double tracked and the main line be single, and then you just have signals for waiting. That's how a lot of actual railroads do that. But somebody had to build this like this. So I don't have another platform for New York. I just have the one. So that's not going to work out very well. Because that just has that there. I'd have to have a separate passenger platform somewhere else. This? Okay, that's vehicle statistics. Some of these are making decent money. Yeah, the one making the most is this one right here. Condition very bad. The ones that are making the least. Yeah, they got these electric guys on there. But I like those. So these are hemorrhaging money. Are there any passenger service? Oh, this is actually making money. Okay. So many very bad trains. You are correct. But I like this. Well, less cars isn't going to make that much of a difference. I'm trying to grow the production, right? So why would having fewer cars make sense? Because I'm going to need them eventually. Like the maintenance on a single car is really not that much. This only has 2 anyway. This is has 2 flat cars, and it's using most of the second one. So that one's fine. The problem is that this guy is too expensive to run. They are loss leaders. You are correct. I'd rather increase the production than trim fat on lines. But you wanted me to get rid of a car here, but it's using the car. It just is not using all of it. It's using half of that second car. So instead, if we unclog... See, like this right here actually has enough planks. It doesn't have enough steel. So this has steel. It has so much steel, it just can't haul all of it. Because this train probably doesn't have enough capacity. Like, watch, this is gonna... If this doesn't completely fill up, I will be very surprised. Yeah, see, this one needs more cars, not less. But it's still losing money because it has the electric locomotive on it. So this guy has 116,000 pounds of tractive effort. If I get rid of him and I replace him with this guy, it's going to cost more money. But I can do this. It'll still be cheaper. And then I can just add twice as many flat cars. Spend a little bit of extra cash, but it'll move more stuff. No, the New York steel supply was already completely filled to the brim. And this had so much steel that's just deleting it. So I doubled the capacity freight-wise. And now we get to see this in real time. If you extend the platform, you could delete a middle section. Why would I delete a middle section? The capacity of the steel line now is 96. As soon as this gets filled up, you'll see. See, filled it all the way up to 96. And it still has 140 something. So I probably could just make this train longer, even still, or I could put a second one on it, but this should help us a whole lot. The line, what line icon? This? This doesn't tell me anything about capacity. Unless this isn't. Why are there so many options for this? Sheesh. See, the tutorials didn't say anything about this. This is wild. So this is actually losing me money with 3 trains on it. Huh. So the steel supply... Yeah, 194. Annual throughput. Tool production is running an expensive train. You are correct. But it's completely full. Yeah. Now the rate's 195. It's getting up there. Two platforms on the same track. I'm not sure what you're getting at. Steel production is a 200 rate. Well, it'll go up higher than that. It'll go to 400. Yes, there's a lot of depth, and I apparently still can't understand half of it, but it's working. It's improving. Things are doing better. As long as this can get enough of all this mess, I don't think this is going to be... Hey, there you go. Pioneer Zephyr. That's a long-distance passenger train. I thought I would have gotten the Hiawatha first, but maybe not. I think this guy might need some additional capacity. What's this called? Steel iron supply? Sort by this. Oh, this has a rate of 362. Okay. Well, that's good. You want that to be 400 then, because that's how much it's going to consume. Yeah, I might not even be playing 15% of the game. This is a very, very complicated game. But now we have Pioneer's Effort. Goes 110 miles per hour. Holds 52 people. And it costs $1.2 million a year. Versus if we were to build out to hold 52 people. 3 of these would cost each of these cars $363,000. So the Pioneer Zephyr should be replacing the long distance train. That's a streamliner. Those are neat. How do I always have the wrong? There we go. Concord. I need to find that train. Or I can just wait, I guess. But I'm going to replace it. It'll go 110 miles per hour, which is much faster than 62. It won't go to 400 because you deliver 400 stones and 400 coal. It means 400, 400, 800 by 4. Oh, God. 800 coal and... Okay. So we do still need to upgrade that. We'll get to that. Where is... Here's the train. That's not the train. Where is... Is this... No. Oh, it's all the way down here. All right, folks. So this... Currently, that is 11 million bucks. If I replace it with this guy and get rid of all of that mess, now it's cheaper. And it's cooler. Look at that guy. That is almost certainly not what that horn sounds like, but... Oh, they truncated the heck out of this. It normally was a lot longer of a train. Yeah, math is absolutely not one of my strong points. Whoa, this is actually full? Okay. I think I can put 2 of these together, but I just want to see how this goes. Well, this is a multiple unit, so this is 1 unit. I'd have to have 2 of these. But if this goes 100 something, it takes a long time to get up there. But if it can go full speed for long enough, then it's going to be a lot better. We'll take a look at the bread in a little bit, if I remember. Alright, all those people getting off. Not quite all the way full. But there's a lot of people waiting. In Birmingham. No, that's New York. New York is growing. Okay, that's actually doesn't look too bad. I do wish this was quicker, though. Like, quicker to top speed. When we get the actual electric locomotives, you can just put a bunch of those on there and they'll go real quick. But this is why this is long distance, because the acceleration is so bad. We probably should run multiples of these, but I have to figure out a solution for the inability to have another platform in New York. I'd have to have a separate station, maybe. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to merge it with signals. I want to see, like, if this ever gets to 100. I don't think it's ever going to get to 110 miles per hour. It might not have enough space. Yeah, because it hasn't even gotten to, like, the 75 yet. Because it's not artificially limited. I don't think, like, the track geometry should support 110 this entire way. It's just not a quick unit. Now it's 80 something. So there we go. We got up to 90. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a look at actual track geometry. But it's not gonna show me. I'm sure there's some sort of overview for that. I don't know where it is. Alright, but we were supposed to look at the bread. Oh, and no, that's not what it's named. I have to figure out what it's named. This guy. That is where the food processing plant is. So I have Birmingham Food Distribution. Yeah, that's a terrible, terrible slow rate. That's the pause menu. I really should name what the thing does first, huh? Food distribution, farm supply. Okay, the rate on this isn't terrible. 363. Which, that is this farm to this food factory. And I think that's the only farm connecting to this. Yeah, that is the only farm connecting to this. Okay. This is maxed out. The train just needs to carry slightly more. And I don't think... Yeah, see, this could have so many more farms supplying it, I just don't have them hooked up. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to have... Well, I already have other platforms here. This one might be kind of hard to get in. Well, it's not going to be worth going all the way around. I'll just put a second cargo station connected to this. Thank you, email client. Okay, that needs to be 160. Just to make this easier. I know this is super ugly, but it's fine. So this is going to have to connect to this, is going to have to take out one or more of these fields. Unless I can get it to go... So it'll take 2 out, that'll take 2 out. I guess it's no real way around it, huh? Alright. Super easy shuttle. Not going to be a problem. At some point I do need to stop so I can, you know, eat something, but we're being productive now. Is this in some crazy... yeah, it is. Okay. Why? Why does this do this? That is incredibly stupid. Now this looks like an absolute stupid fest. All right. I can't even build the dirt roads anymore. That's fine. Don't need to worry about it. Why would it have done that? That's also not connected. Yeah, that is really stupid that it's trying to change elevation so much. Now if I just drag this out. Okay, I guess that's better, but it's still kind of dumb. Now that I can actually see how this is hooked up here, I guess I should put this over here instead. There, now it can actually connect. Okay, so what did I call that? Pembroke Farm Supply. This is probably a bad name for that, but that's fine. This will be... that's what I'll name that. Okay. So that'll production max of 200. This is production max of 200. I probably should figure out exactly what that means, but that's fine. I guess I'll just do... the freight cars can only go that fast anyway. Should be gondolas for food, yes. There. Let's roll with that. I don't know when the next stream of this is going to be. Maybe Tuesday? I'm not sure. But my plan usually for this is Tuesdays and Saturdays. Saturday would be about the same time today, and Tuesday would be... oh, it would be real late for you. If you are where you're saying you are. It would be like the middle of the night. Timing is not really an easy thing to do in this game. You can't set intervals or anything, as far as I know. I think it just kind of has to balance itself out. Alright, so this should have more or less a full load. Maybe not, because it has to have stuff transported out first. It is definitely starting to get good. It is actually tremendous. Your plus 3 PT. Okay, no, okay, so that would be 7 hours ahead of me. So currently where I am, it is 5:06 p.m. If you're 7 hours ahead of me, then you are just past midnight. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so this is already improving. Hey, John. We got a lot done today. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be going. Probably not too much. But I guess I don't remember if you chatted last stream or not, so you might not have seen any of this. But we've got city of Birmingham here, which Birmingham, U.S. Birmingham, not UK Birmingham, looking pretty decent on demand. We have clockwise and counterclockwise shuttles, and we have the city ready to expand if it chooses to. 12 a.m. Okay. So then if I did a 7 p.m. stream, my time would be 2 a.m. So that'll be 2 a.m. Wednesday morning, assuming I started at 7. So yeah, probably not great time for you to be watching that. But Saturdays, as many of them as I can do, would be around the same time that I'm doing now. Maybe starting a tiny bit earlier, so it would be about dinner time, your time, maybe a little bit later. There's the Hiawatha. Let's take a look at the stats here. So this is just a straight up, just a locomotive. 99 miles per hour. Not a lot of tractive effort, but it does have a lot of power, so if we're doing long distance steam trains, this would be a good option for us. But the Pioneer Zephyr goes 110. It just doesn't have the quickness. Only 600 some horsepower. Yep, $2 million a year for that one. But I mean, it's a really good locomotive. To be fair, but we already, I think, do have it better with the Pioneer Zephyr. I just can't attach anything to this because nothing else goes as fast, and it would just drag the top speed down. You put the M300 on long run, that thing goes 50 miles per hour. That is so slow on a long-distance train. Okay, well, the problem with the Hiawatha is it would be... Well, okay, one of these is $1.3 million a year. The Hiawatha by itself, without any passenger cars, is $1.9 million a year. Plus, to get the same capacity as that, you'd... Oh, now we got streamlined coaches. But this only is 93 miles per hour. We'd have to use these heavyweight cars, which they're heavy. 39 tons each versus 33 for this. Wait, how is the... Okay, this one's heavier. This one can go 112, which means it could be attached as an accessory to the Zephyr, but it would just make it go slower if you needed more capacity. So you run long-distance travel. Okay, 62 miles per hour. I'm sorry. You run long-distance trains with single M3. Okay. If it works, then it works. But yes, this would be what you put with the Hiawatha, most likely. So 33 tons each, and then this would be able to handle that just fine. But it would limit your top speed at 93 miles per hour instead of 112. Not that it really matters. But the illustration I was trying to make, to get to the same capacity, this holds 20. So we'd need... Or 18. We'd need 3 of these. And that gets us about the same. This would cost us $16.5 million to buy. And it would be almost $3 million a year in upkeep. Or you have this. It's just unfortunate because this is such a cool thing. Connect them in pairs. Okay. I gotcha. Alright, well, the city is expanding. It's not outside the ring yet, but it's fine. So, Vancouver has nothing except destinations. So they're not really going that many places. They're going to New York and they're going to Birmingham. Corona, which is not a destination we serve. And then Concord, no one's going to Concord from Vancouver. But from Concord, they're going to New York, and one is going to Vancouver. Okay. How many people use the shuttle? I don't think very many. Yeah, there's only one, and we have multiple units. There's only like 2 people using this total. I don't think it's a very popular. Well, then we will just sell one of each. Make a tiny bit more profit, although honestly I think we're probably okay. I'm waiting for the city to expand beyond this because you kept talking about that. What else passenger-wise? I guess I should probably double-track this. I would need to build another... Oh, I need to upgrade my tracks. Upgrade high speed. Yeah, I'm going to put... I guess I technically don't need a second platform at this station, because that's the end, but I would need, depending on what kind of frequency we're going to run, I would need a second platform at the next one, which is New York, which I can't do, because I underestimated the popularity of this thing. I also have this set up as a cargo track that we're not currently using. So I would have to have this be... I'm overthinking this. I have to have on this side, and then it has to come in before here. I guess this is probably okay. There. So now that needs a signal before I get too comfy here. And if I'm only going the correct direction, then I only need this signal here, because they're going to be out that way and in that way. All right, that works. Now we can just attach this all the way through the tunnel. All the way through here. It's going to be expensive. Okay, it lost the plot somewhere. I have to go find... There we go. I guess one public works project at a time. If I don't need to signal the entire thing if there's only ever going to be one train on each segment. But I will put another one here. Okay, so that... Okay, it's not going to... Oh, yeah, signal in a tunnel. That's going to be a fantastic idea. Okay, that comes out there. I should not do that. That's not enough space. Okay. 50. See, it's not going to let me do it unless it's in the tunnel. 55. Why is the tunnel limited to 160? Okay, whatever. They're not going to go that fast. Not for another 100 years. I guess I've got to do super long merge in the tunnel. I'm trying to keep the speed up. Alright, the game doesn't like me, clearly. Just, come on, just connect to this other track, please. Alright, that's good enough. This will have to have somewhere before it gets too close. There. And that'll stop this guy from coming in until that guy's gone. I do not know about electric positive yet. I would like to put another unit on this before I get too carried away. So that is going to have to go out this way into another tunnel, which means when I start this as a separate track, it's going to have to be inside the tunnel connected to this. Alright, let's just bring that out. So it's interesting how this is... I guess that curve is too sharp. Okay, that is kind of sharp. 133 is still plenty fast. Now to get out here. We'll take a look in a second. Okay, the bridge itself is going to have to get upgraded, but I don't have a higher technology bridge yet. Okay, so now we'll get into Birmingham here in a little bit, which I technically could put another platform here, but I don't think I need to do that. I think we can just have this merge. This is kind of a sharp angle for that, but it'll be alright. So that can wait there, going clockwise at least. And then this can get tracked here. Very slow speed for high-speed trains, but that's okay. Well, I can't really redo it now, unfortunately. I'd end up losing a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, oh, this is almost full speed here. Okay, so now this has to have another one of these. I guess I'll just put it here at the thing. So inbound will wait. Outbound will always have a free path. Which means when this merges, I do have to have this set up here. Okay, that can't go across a crossing. So if I just have this merge out here. Come on, snap, please. Okay. That's fine. Inbound weights. As always. Okay. So now I've kept the same amount of platforms. I've added a double track so I could just come in here to wherever the heck I put this thing. Here. I should just come to this one. So this guy, I can just duplicate. So now this guy is coming out of where? All the way up here. Ah, there's the GG1. GG1 is a goated locomotive. Absolutely. Well, I guess I missed my opportunity to get into the cab of this guy, but come on. I have no idea where the other unit is. I probably should have looked. Yeah, the Birmingham big station is waiting on the train goes coast to coast. No, get back here. There we go. Look at the... What? What kind of tunnel entrance? Okay. Why is this not a high-speed track? Okay, so this is New York. Yeah, look at this. Nice and full. We probably could have more, but it's fine. Oh, I never merged those. Okay, well let's do that. I remember now that that was not complete. Okay. I don't even have a signal on this. Okay. Now, then this, before it merges, has to have a stop. Okay, that's fine. I was wondering what the heck was happening with that. Alright, so now this is going to get... well, I guess that's fine because it still comes out of the station. Yeah, people waiting here. This should fill all the way up. Maybe not. I guess they're going the other way. Okay. Now here comes this guy. Oh, good. They're almost met in Birmingham. Okay, let's keep that guy up. Let's open this. Yeah, see here. Oh, they filled that, and there's still plenty more capacity. I could have a couple more of these trains. But I don't know if it's profitable enough. It probably is. All right. I need to look at here. Okay, train 29 is making a ton of money running iron ore. Train 30 is making a ton of money running coal. This is diesel. That's not the same thing. This is technically profitable. Train 21. Stubby little short train platform on the cargo in Birmingham would be hugely... Well, we have a whole cargo station for Birmingham. That's already a station that exists. Oh, there's people waiting here. That's actually kind of a surprise. I'm sure the shuttle is still very, very empty. Okay, 4 people on that one, and this one has 6. So it is, you know, it is going. People are using it. And that is still, it's completely full. Going to New York. We might need to add even more of these. We're managing to fulfill most of the demand for a lot of this, except fuel now is kind of a problem. Yeah, I think it's time for Zephyr 3, which I will now also open up. So both of these are headed to New York City from opposite directions. Alright, okay, now that one's going to Concord. This one's coming from Concord. It just stopped there. Nobody's on it. Waiting for a free path because this train is inbound from Concord and it is on the other track. It can't leave. Wait, no, that should be able to leave no matter what. I must not have enough of my signals put in. I think I am missing coming into New York. No, I have a signal coming into New York. It shouldn't be angry about this. Or is it because when I split... Okay, because that one's popped in there. That's fine. Okay, now it's going. Why was it waiting so long? Yeah, because this is all the way up here. That was waiting. Yeah, because the signal that's in here... The signal that's in here is fine. Okay, every 100 meters seems a little excessive. I can't even see underground. Yeah, because this is just so this guy always has an out here. I don't know. Every time I try to use too many signals, the game gets really confused. I have not had a good time with those. Okay, that needs to be upgraded. There's a couple of these that have not been upgraded. I'm probably going to be done soon-ish. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that every time I've done that, it has been awful. It has not worked. Like, we'd have to have like 100 of these on here for this to really be that big of a deal. But if it makes you feel better, I'll put a couple of these in. Just trying to keep the direction consistent. I know it's how trains work, but we don't have that many trains going on here, so it really should not be that big of a deal. Because I don't want it to stop on the switch. That's always a bad idea. And this is where this comes out anyway. Those of you who were around for Sweet Transit will remember just how awful the signals were. Well, yeah, no, that's what signals do. They're just the amount of trains we have do not require there to be blocks every 5 seconds. It just becomes really complicated to try and keep up with. Because that was waiting to go that way. That's fine. Oh, this is... Wait, what the heck happened here? It's like 2 separate tunnel portals. That's not what this should be. There's a mod to put signals automatically. Of course there is. I've never been able to get mods to work in this game. I don't know what it is. Yeah, all the tunnels are like this. Why? Except this one. This one's not crazy. Okay, so that's the merge there. Alright, so that'll be the last one. Okay. Well, this train is full. This one is not. This one is half full. So I have one train here, one train here, and the other one is over here. Yeah, that seems like entirely too much work and so much stuff that could possibly go wrong just to have mods that I don't know how to use anyway. It's fine. Well, no matter what, this is operating so much better. Nobody's going to Concord, of course. Wait, why are 2 of these both going to Concord at the same time? They shouldn't be that... Okay. That one just left Concord. This one's going to Concord. And that's going to New York from the same direction this one's going. Okay, these aren't spaced right. Oh well. I wish there was a way to do it, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. Alright, so 35, 36 people waiting to go to Birmingham. Oh, there's people at all of these stations. Okay. So people do want to ride the little train. 66 people want to go to New York. Mods won't work until 1990 because the game wants to manually buy a computer and load the mods in. Okay. That's funny. So we need to get more fuel. Fuel is going to be annoying because it's 1-to-1 and this is 2-to-1 and this can't seem to ever supply enough, and I'm at the limit of length on this train, which means it just needs to be faster, but it can't be faster. I didn't know there was an option to have all the trains. It's US only. This isn't even full all the way. Okay, so I guess that is the limit of a single oil supplier. That's going to complicate this because this is the closest other oil well, and that is that's not close. I do have another refinery here. I guess it probably would make more sense to just have this one come in also. That might be something for next time, because this needs more. And this can't make any more. Because this can't give it anymore. Okay, and that's that there. I think I can still get by with just 2 platforms here. That should be okay. I'll just signalize it. Now I'm gonna get myself in trouble here because now this is the transcontinental thing. I'm not gonna have elevation. Well, I don't know anything about the European or the Asian trains. I do know about these. Kind of. All right. Can I get this to go up? I can. But now it's going to want to attach to this in a way that's not going to work nicely. But let's try it. How high is this? It is definitely above that. I don't want to merge. I want to go up. I really hate this game sometimes. Come on. I cannot move this, or I should not move it. But if I start that here and I go across, it says construction not possible. Okay. Well, what's my straight line path? Not really much of a straight line. Okay. See, this is where this gets annoying. So now I have to have, I guess I have to have a road that connects this and have this moved way far back so that I can have a train station that will actually connect and have enough room to go up. That is still connected there. Now, if I were to go up to here, that should be plenty of space to get this to go up. No, I want to go up. Thank you. Now, if I do that, can I cross the tracks? No, because it says collision, even though there is plenty of room. That should have no issues clearing that, but I guess it doesn't want to play nice. So if this goes up like that, if that doesn't clear it, I don't know that I have any hope for society. Okay, now it works. So that, I guess, can just be... Okay, that looks stupid, first of all. That's short, but... Is that straight enough? 75? Can I go any lower on this? Okay, that does look kind of ridiculous. That's fine there. Okay. Now, this just has to get all the way over there. I do think that is kind of insane how high that has to go. But it's fine. Okay, just bring that down to here. That should be... it's alright. So now that has to go all the way up to here. And it's gonna... Oh, geez. I forgot about this mess. Forgot about that. So this is going to have to go above here. So why don't we, before it becomes a problem, build a crossing to get us across all of this. That seems to be fine. Where's that? Okay, I should have that aimed kind of that direction. Should be here. So then connect this. Of course, it's going to want to make a lot of this a viaduct, but it doesn't really need to be. See, I don't like when this tries to do too much. So if I just have this come down to the ground. See, now it doesn't want to let me do that either. So that comes all the way to here. Maybe I should build from this direction. Because this doesn't need to be... There we go. Okay, it's this cutting here that's sending me. Okay, that's also not the correct... let's try that. I guess that's going to have to be good enough. This does not need to be that high. Go down. Not like that. That's fine. Now this can go in peace all the way over to here where it will meet with another... Ooh, that's going to create a really spicy intersection. Oh, this track isn't electrified. Okay, well, that'll be a problem we deal with later, I guess. I'm not anticipating that this become an electrified track anyway. Okay, that has to connect here. Construction, not possible. Why not? Is it because you're a coward? I think that's what it is. Okay, so that goes... Why does it constantly try to create... I guess I just don't understand the... I don't understand the terrain tool here. I think that's fine. So now I connect that. It should. That's not even lined up. All right. There. That is such a long viaduct for absolutely no... Oh, I hate terrain tools. Me and terrain tools do not get along. Yeah, the way you connect the bridges and stuff just doesn't make a ton of sense. But it is what it is. See, if I just make that terrain, it costs more money, but it doesn't look quite as ridiculous. It just looks mostly ridiculous. Well, I'd rather have that than just looking at crazy stuff all the time, so... Now this will have to have a signal here to stop. This will need to have a signal also, but I can't put that on a turnout, so that's going to have to be there. Okay. So now this just has to have a train on it. I could have made that smoother, but whatever. I will put this on the end over here. Okay. Now I need a line between here and here. So we will call that fuel... What's this blue one? Crude oil supply. Crude oil supply 2. Not 3. Come on. Alright, so this guy holds 120 maximum. It can't fill 120, or can it? Okay, 94, but I'm not going to worry about that. So this is a long enough distance that I feel like it should be profitable with electric, but the station is not electrified. So let's upgrade. Probably should just have all of our track upgraded at this point. Yeah, because this track is all super old. Oh, that just deleted it. Okay. At some point we will need... Oh, there's a stub track there. I forgot about that. At some point we'll be upgrading most of this. Alright, so that takes care of that mess. Now I just need a different train over here. And we are attempting to do oil. So if I make that, I think that's the maximum length I can do. The GG1 can go 90 miles, 99 miles an hour, but these can only go 50. So, doesn't matter. For that, I will probably just do one of these 282 Mikados here. Because that's cheap, crude oil supply 2, and off she goes. Alright, so that, as this starts getting more and more stuff taken out of it, this should be fine. I do kind of want to redo this, but not going to worry about it that much. It is kind of insane how it goes all the way down just to go back up. I wish it would just stay a constant height, but it is what it is. There we go. Just offload nice and easy. And back. Alright. So we should see now this start to tick up quite a bit. Get to that next level. Make a little bit more refined oil. And then the fuel refinery can keep up because that's 1-to-1. I think. I would love to get better tank cars so we can go faster, but that's not going to be for a while. Why does this only have 13 likes? My dashboard says 24. So I guess yours is just behind because that's what it was when you clicked in, maybe? I don't know. I'm just here having a good time with the... I'm not worried about the metrics so much. Alright, so this should be... Oh, it's completely full and it's got some left over. So this maybe could have a little bit more on it, but... Probably are going to want to check how we're doing with, I can't even click on that yet. The actual refinery itself. Yeah. It's going to take a little bit for it to catch up, but should be able to handle all that. Okay, it is... Well, it's almost 6 o'clock here. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to end soon. New line's rate is... Well, crude oil supply 1 is 511. Crude oil supply 2 is 208, but that should... maybe it doesn't go up. Now it says 200. I'm going to add another tank car to this. And so now it says 222. It's going to take a little bit for it to level off. That says every 7 minutes. You know, for all the complaining I have done today about how weird it is to do stuff, I do really love this game. It's fun, even if I'm not good at it. The third one is supposed to be coming out at some point, and I would like to be part of that, so... I put in to be on the list for updates and beta consideration or whatever early stuff. I don't think they will give it to a channel as small as me, but we'll see. Oh, I guess I'd have to make the stations longer then. Yeah, this is a long enough distance it might have to have just longer trains, because this is full at 120. So maybe I'll do that after this. I don't know that I'm going to need to double track this quite yet. But what I can do, since I have the ability... is... I don't need to pause for this. I can just make this platform longer, because that's the only one that's being used for the oil stuff. And then extend this. I can extend it this way too, but I don't know, then the other train can't use it. I think this is probably fine, honestly. Like that. Then this train here, I don't think can really... Yeah, so this manages to get just about every scrap that it actually needs, but this one, I am going to pause so I can lengthen this. Even if I can't lengthen the platform yet, I can lengthen the vehicle. So that has 120 capacity. Let's see. I know that's too long. It's going to say the loading speed is slower, but this can handle, because of the length of the other platform, should be able to handle that. So now, once this completely leaves the area... this is also going to be just oppressively slow because of how heavy this is. But if it's moving enough, I can upgrade the locomotive. Okay, let's pin that. Now I have to... I guess I just have to pause this anyway. Oh, that's going to mess this up. I don't need roads anyway. Where we're going, we don't need roads. Alright, let's... just extend the easy way this way here. 2 more. You know, something lit up on the screen. I will go take a look in a moment. In case I need to actually update that. Alright. I think that should get me more or less where I need to go. We'll check train length when we get over there. Oh, Devilish, thanks for the 3. Appreciate it. Rate on this now says 309. And I added additional cars since this left, so that number should go up. Oh, they both got here at the same time. Who's going to win? That guy, I guess. So, yeah. That train doesn't need to be lengthened. It's a higher frequency, but this one, at this length, might actually... be perfect. Let's see if it needs one more car. Yep, it can take one more. I do think it's funny how this is now a different material here for the platforms we just built. Like, I know there's, like, different eras. Like, this is, like, that cobblestone style, and this is more of, like, a... I forget what the term is. Whereas this one, because it was just built... Thank you, email client. 328. Which, considering the other one is almost 500, is probably perfectly okay. Very profitable. So now this, we should see... I think I might be able to take one more. But it's completely full and there's some left over. So now this is 346. And the passenger train is still like half capacity. But the number is going up. You need 2 more. I don't know if I can handle 2 more. This is definitely slow. Yeah, it's going to have to wait again. Actually, maybe not, because it's got a substantial speed boost here. Cool. Okay, it does have that that debuff because of the platform length, but 377 is what it's at. Once it goes and gets the other thing filled up, it should be okay. So now the other one went down, 358. Maybe because it has to wait. Oh, this is also average, so it's probably fine. Yes, now this says 228. See, this guy is full, but I don't think the terminal has any more to give. Maybe it does, who knows. Alright, it already has 10. I'll add one more. This one's 538 again. This one's 374. It's going to have to wait. But it averages out to be more than 400 each. Oh yes, we're making absolute gobs of money. Tons. Okay, so that is looking a whole lot better. Much better. Now, how's this? Okay, so that will be, I think, probably an issue of this. Oh, no, that's not completely full either, but I think we can safely add a couple of cars to this. Build a truck on the other side of the refinery? I don't think we need one. Yeah, this just isn't able to make anything else because it doesn't have enough shipment. Which, I wish I knew what that meant. But what's holding up getting better tank cars? They don't exist. They have to be added to the thing. Okay, what the heck is this one called? 401 on the fuel refinery. Which is this. But that is a line that goes here to here, just to Paterson. So what we should be looking at is... wait, no, never mind. It goes here to here to here. That probably needs to be separate lines, doesn't it? Yeah, that connects here, drops off, and picks up at the same time, and I don't think there's enough buffer. And that goes here, and then a bunch of it goes over to Birmingham. Well, no matter what, they still don't have enough, and Birmingham doesn't have enough. The production on this needs to increase, but that's not going to get any better until the shipment stuff improves. So I think this would be a candidate for another train, but I just, the distance isn't really long enough. I'm making 400 fuel. The city only needs 159, 100 whatever, but it's not getting it. Because Birmingham is only getting like 60% of what it needs. Which, while we're here, there's actually people on this. What about this one? Nobody. But they picked up some. Okay. Yeah, the circulator's doing pretty well, relatively. And the long-distance passenger stuff seems to be working about as well as it can. That's doing what it's supposed to be doing. This still hasn't gotten past anything because it doesn't have enough stuff being shipped out. This seems to be helping. I don't know. But it's been 4 hours, and I definitely need to go take care of other stuff. Plus, I have a video to make for tomorrow. Well, no, I'm not going to have trucks to deliver it because I'm not using trucks. We take a look at the cargo stuff here. This station is actually covering just about everything in terms of needs. I'm going to have to... yeah. This station does cover just about everything. And And it is a stub end station, which means this is here. They're asking for fuel. I could, if I really, really wanted to, put another entrance here, and that maybe would reach one or two more of these, but it's getting just about everybody. Yeah, it is a problem with trains only. And a less insane person would just say, okay, cool, let's build trucks, but I want to do trains only. Then at some point, I do want to do a normal playthrough where we actually do use trucks and ships and everything. But this is where I'm going to call it for today. I do have to go do other stuff, but I appreciate you guys hanging out. I appreciate all the support, and I appreciate all of the help. Seriously. I don't understand a lot about this game, but it does make it a lot easier when people who do understand things and are able to explain things show up and help out. So I do appreciate you. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing. It is getting kind of late over there, so get some sleep, and I'll hope to see you back again in another stream. Thanks very much. Don't forget, thank you, email client. Don't forget, tomorrow I'm doing Satisfactory as well. That'll be at, hopefully, 1 p.m. my time. I had to push this one back because I was up way too late making a video last night, but that should be fun. Hopefully I'll die less, but regardless, I'll see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.